Mm.
Live. I do really wish that I could consolidate my channel a little bit better, but yes, we are live. There
Very
we
good.
go. Okay.
Are we doing
Here's the
like
link.
Kermit voices today, or is that what
Kermit
we're rolling
voices?
with on the
Wait,
on the podcast?
do you have a Kermit voice?
No, it's just you saying we're live.
Oi.
Sound a bit like Kermit.
Frog
I've done one
voice.
before for my daughter, but I'm not primed for it. My gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we won't do that today then.
Okay, well, I sent you guys the link in chat and in the messages, and I'm going to say MouseCast 042 is live with @logpile gaming. Say hi in chat. Paste. All right, and then I will also do the Discord announcement.
All right, let me send it.
Sunday.
If you wonder why I'm like moving my head around, it's because I've got boxes on my desk with my webcam balanced in the middle.
Yeah. How do Welsh accents differ from like English?
So I have my accent's very like English, quite like normal.
Yeah.
Welsh is very colourful, so it's like so my wife's called Ruth, but the Welsh so she comes from the valleys, right? So her friends call her Roth. Or they'll say things like, "Oh, I mean, I can't understand what they're saying. I just get like absorbed in the sound that their mouths make." Do you know what I mean? Like, it's very different. I talk to my kids in a Welsh accent, which is weird because I'm not Welsh, but it's how their grandparents talk to them. So I've kind of adopted it.
Interesting.
Yeah, I won't.
By the fact the rest of the
pretend.
world sounds better. We sound so bored over here.
Yeah. Okay, we should probably do the intro now. So, hello everyone. I'm Phalanges.
And I am Log. So thanks for having me, Phalanges and Daz.
And I'm Daz Razak here for the Parent Mouse Reviewing Therapy Hour. Bear with me.
To the MouseCast podcast for Saturday, August 23rd. We're talking about Lamzu at GamesCom. It has a carbon fiber mouse. Also, obviously, the log pile interview. So yeah, thanks for being on. All right, as always, guys, what's on your desk right now, and what are your top 3 pizza toppings?
Go ahead, Log.
So I've got lots on my desk at the moment. So I've got the Orbital Pathfinder. I love this thing. I've got the green ASIM. This is like my little spicy number that I use when I'm feeling a little bit frisky. I've got the Terra Pro that arrived recently. Really enjoying that. I've got the Hattie S2 Pro, also really fun. And also the MP01S Ergo. There's lots more on my desk. I won't go through everything. But those are the ones that I'm rotating between quite frequently at the moment.
Nice. I'm rocking the Incot 029 right now. What was that?
Did you say a pad too?
Oh, so my pad is the I've just swapped off the Vaxee PE, the big like landscape kind of contrasty pad design. I'm back on the Tenta X Octo grip at the moment. It's a nice control pad.
It is, yeah. I've been talking with Azar a lot lately. I just grabbed the Cataclysm glass pad, but I'm not using it. I actually have this pad you probably can't see, the AC Pro Mid Neon. One of my favorites.
Yeah. Nice.
Rocking the Incot 029, which I'll be reviewing here soon. And believe it or not, the Duckbill still on my desk with about a dozen others. But
heck yeah.
Relatable.
Yeah.
Okay. I've got Incot 039. This is a fairly newish mouse. I'm glad that it got sent out to me so quickly from AliExpress. Great mouse, fantastic coding, fantastic build. Not my favorite shape. It's like a Viper V2. So, I mean, it's a good shape, but I guess
it's that low profile.
It is rather low profile and like a very aggressive hourglass. So it really wants you to really put your thumb and ring right at the narrow waist. I actually think I like the ROM MH01 shape a little bit more if you're going to go for something like this size. It is a large mouse, very large. And then I still have the Violet Mist from Matrova on my desk, among a million other mice. Okay, so let's go into the log pile. Oh, wait, no, I did have our 3 favorite pizza toppings. I'll go. Pepperoni Pepperoni is solid, especially like the nice little burnt cup ones. I love those. Italian sausage, I love like a well-seasoned Italian sausage, and any kind of pepper.
Strong.
Strong.
Well, like pepper, like the seasoning pepper, like the stuff you'd grind on the top, or a pepper like pepperoni. Kind of what do you mean by pepper?
All of the above.
Like a banana pepper,
banana pepper, jalapeno, green pepper, red pepper, peppercorns. Take your pick.
Oh, I see. Right,
I like spicy.
Like a vegetable, not like a like a condiment. Got it.
Not pineapple though, apparently. Okay.
Nah.
You go, Daz, and then I'll close out on this one.
Yeah, the pepperonis, like you said, like old world pepperoni is what some people call them.
Yeah.
Those are really good. Mushrooms, pepperoni mushroom, if I'm just like not thinking I'll get that, and then some kind of spicy like pepper or chili or something. Like I had one with Fresno chilies at a local brewery and it was really good. So
Fresno
I'll eat anything.
Yeah, I'm pretty similar. Pizza is pizza, right? So if it's just cheese, I'll eat it. If it's got weird stuff on it, I'll eat it too. But yeah, for me, probably ham and pineapple. I'm quite partial to the old controversial picks, and then just a pepperoni. That sort me out. Ham, pineapple, and pepperoni. Not all together.
I saw some like chefs saying how pineapple, the sweet with the savory of like the cheese and the pepperoni, is supposed to be prime, but. Whatever. All right. Last week we had this poll. Have you ever used r/mouse market? I don't think. Log, have you?
No, I haven't.
Oh, really? Okay.
I don't think the scene's quite so big in the UK. Like,
yeah,
I just use eBay and just buy direct from people. But...
Yeah. And then this is how Daz and I technically met. So I mean, well, technically through eBay.
It was eBay.
Yeah, but then we did Mouse Market, yeah. So yeah, this was from last week, guys, but this week's poll is, do mouse reviewers compete for views? This is, you know what, let's circle back to this, but link is in the description, y'all. I left this purposely vague, yes or no. We'll cover our thoughts a little bit later, but why don't we start out with an introduction for you, Log. Who are you for the people who haven't heard of you, which... I don't know who that is, but and where did your name come from?
So I am oh god, I should have thought about this before we started. So I'm approaching 34, right? So I'm like a midlife crisis kind of territory. I'm in my peripheral phase at the moment. So we'll see how that goes when I hit 34 next month. But so I just have an interest in like shiny things. Basically, I quite like I like the hobby of gaming, but I also like the hobby of how, you know, exploring how the things that you use can impact your gameplay. So I'm more into like the experiences that peripherals can give you rather than the real technical detail that I think maybe you and Daz are, without putting words in your mouth, maybe are more into. So I like trying weird and wacky stuff and then covering my experience on YouTube, basically. My name, so I got married a few years ago, and my name before I got married was Bull, like a cow, like a man cow. And my wife didn't want to be named after a cow, a big smelly cow. So we chose a new name from like our family background, right? So put it on a hat, gave the bowl to my son. He picked out a name, and that's what we chose. So our family name is Woods. And when we got married, we all had a hug on the sofa, and we just said it was like a log pile because our family name's Woods. And so yeah, I guess like for me, log pile is like my family, my kind of, in the context of YouTube, my community. But I'm log, and then the channel is the pile. So that's kind of where it is.
Yeah, shockingly wholesome. I would have never guessed something like that.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's like he probably played RuneScape and like there was some logs or something. Yeah, that's the best story I've ever heard for a name. So
he really likes wood. No, it's just so family name is Woods now, and that's just where it came from. Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny. I was talking with somebody about that. A lot of our like very first gamer tag or whatever is name related. Shoal Doge, I met up with him. So guys, check out Shoal Doge on YouTube. He does mousepad reviews. SHOL Doge, like Dogecoin. He was saying how it's a combination of his first name and also like a early gamer name. But I know my name, because you asked this, Log. My name, Phalanges, came from I was playing an online video game called Combat Arms with like a small clan, and we were gonna have a bunch of names that were like goofy, and I liked I picked Man Phalanges because it was like the maximum. I think it's like 12 characters, so it's or 10 characters, so it's like the maximum characters the game allowed. It was unique enough where nobody. I don't need numbers after my name, and I like that it could be shortened to Man. I just like the idea of something being shortened in like chat messages, but Man is actually. It's funny now. Nobody calls me that because that's kind of like maybe a little awkward. It's not as recognizable, so most people just call me Phalanges. So that's, I think, what the podcast logo that is covering up half of my body right now says with Phalanges and Daz. And
So I
then,
use Man as like a.
Go ahead.
I use Man as like a greeting. I'm like, hey
Yeah.
man, how's it going?
dude,
Yeah.
So,
right.
Yeah.
But the problem is, I don't think it's when you're in like a Discord call with a bunch of people, it's not as unique. It's not as distinct.
Yeah.
100%. Yep.
And then Daz comes from his prescription. I'm kidding.
What?
Yeah, your name to me has always sounded like a prescription medication.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I guess that's fair. Yeah, like Prozac, Astrazac. You got it. No, it's actually a random generated World of Warcraft name my friend used. But his was spelled with one Z at the beginning and two at the back. And one night we thought we'd be funny when we were like 10 years ago, and I would do two Z's at the front and one at the back to make people in Call of Duty mad when they got killed by both Astrazacs. So it's less original than you even thought. Yeah.
Yeah. The gameplay
So you're just trolling, basically.
Pretty much. That's all I'm doing. Yep.
Are you still friends with that guy? You guys still play
Loosely.
anything?
Yeah, we don't see each other much, but yeah. Occasionally we do play.
Yeah. Before we get into the interview, the gameplay you guys are watching, I'm abusing a bug that made the underbarrel shotgun in 2042 for the bolt action sniper that I'm using. It shoots 10 pellets, and instead of each pellet doing like 20 damage, each pellet does the full bolt actions damage. They patched this very quickly, but yeah, you can see me shooting at vehicles, trying to kill vehicles here and there. So
I mean, if there's anything that could make 2042 fun, it's stuff like this, right? So
yeah, we had our fun. Stripe Steezy's in my. I think he's reviving me here. He's in our Discord. Join our Discord. I didn't say that. Also, we do this every week, so subscribe. All right. What was your opinion on getting into gaming? What was your opinion on gaming mice before getting into them? And was there a catalyst that like launched your interest?
So it's a really interesting. It's a really good question. So I started gaming in FPS games on the Nintendo Switch in lockdown. So during lockdown, I obviously needed stuff to do, right? So I picked up a Switch. I got very quickly bored of FPS gaming on a Switch because I'm crap with a controller. So I then bought a laptop and started looking at reviews. So I was like, what do I need to buy? Like, I need to buy something that's not too expensive, but something that's kind of like the right balance between value for money and performance. And I was watching, basically just really overwhelmed with all of the different options, and even back then, so like 4 or 5 years ago, three years ago, overwhelmed with all of the different options, and no one really seemed to cover exactly what I wanted to hear, like how things felt to use and how that kind of shape kind of interacted with your hand, which sounds really silly, but I find that to be missing in a lot of reviews. So I found it really difficult, and the first mouse I bought was off the back of a Fresh Reviews review for the Razer Orochi V2. So I'm a big fan of Fresh, but at the time didn't realise that he was basically a fingertip gripper. So he was using this tiny mouse in his massive hands, and I'm just like, okay, this isn't quite the right size for me. So I basically went from that onto something that was supposed to be bigger, which was the G303. It was bigger, but it's basically just, in short, I won't drag this out for too long. In short, I just experimented with just weird and different shapes, and I tried not to spend too much at the start, which obviously didn't last very long. But yeah, I just got interested, like going from the Orochi, which is just a classic egg shape, to something like the G303, which is more like a diamond shape, then going on to which obviously has like a really different way of like a feel, like an in-game feel and how you aim with it. And then going from that to the HSK Pro, which was a mouse. That was the first thing that I reviewed on my channel. So that was the reason I reviewed it, was because I was looking for reviews of it and there weren't any out there. So I was like, oh, I'll just buy one and review it and see how it goes, and maybe it'll help someone. And then that's kind of how the channel started, really. But just
that's good.
That's kind of my pathway, is looking for different things, the different experiences that mice can offer. And then it's just grown and grown, got worse and worse.
Worse and worse, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. What about you, Daz? I know for me, it was like, I remember, for me, I've told this before, but Star Wars Battlefront had a burst weapon called the EE3 that could be rapid fired if you used a mouse with like a really low click debounce. So that's what got me into it. And that's what forced me to try really wacky shapes. Like, I remember one of the best mice for rapid firing was the Ikari optical mouse, which is a weird, super flat palm mouse. Yep, I used this for like 6 months. So yeah, what about you, Daz?
I don't know. I always just like research the living shit out of things, basically, and I always want to try a bunch of different things. Like, I'll buy like 8 cases for my phone, and I'll buy. So I ended up at one point getting to like 50 mice. And I'm like, holy crap! I should just start reviewing them, I guess. So you talked me into like buying the Darmo Shark X6 and like doing a review on that, and then more than 0 people watched it. So that's how that channel started. But yeah, I don't know.
More than 0 is a net win, isn't it? When
yeah, right.
Yeah.
But gaming mice, I don't know. In the end, I could probably use a potato with a sensor, and it would probably be 95% of the way there. But there is something about trying to find the perfect shape, or just, I don't know. Receiving new tech in the mail is even just like a bit of a consumerist like addiction, probably. Let's be honest.
Sure.
Now it just comes for free. It's even worse. So
we're not even that far into the video. We're already talking about addiction, Daz.
Yeah. Getting real serious real fast.
Do we want to do, let's do, why don't we do do reviewers compete for reviews, just to knock this out of the way, because this was one that Daz and I have talked about before. You want to kind of intro us, Daz?
Yeah, because like, cause I'll message you whenever Jeff drops a review that I'm about to do and be like, God damn it. But yeah, it depends, right? If it's a mouse that's going to be reviewed by everybody, like Boardzy's going to cover it, Fresh Review's going to cover it, it doesn't really matter as much. But if it's like a more niche one, maybe, and you're not sure who's going to have it, like I think the first person to get that review out, if there's interest in it, gets a bit of a bump. I mean, long term, it's probably fine. But I think there's a bit of an initial bump for being the first. Like, you get that like search. Those search results hit your video, so and then you're also established as like the Google search result. So, but competing against each other, like I don't really feel any like actual competitiveness. It's just like the initial. Okay, well, I'll get mine eventually, I guess. Now,
I think I agree with you. I think it's like indirect competition. Like you if you don't put the effort into structuring your like search engine optimization stuff, then you'll compete yourself out of it. Because no one will find your video. So people will only find it through recommended. And if it's not a good video, then it won't be recommended. So if you put the effort in, and the effort, I think most people that are serious about it, and I'm not that serious, but most people that are serious about it, is they want to have the best SEO, best search engine optimization, so that they come up first. And I think that's where the competition is getting, if you is that kind of indirect competition. My view on other reviewers is that it's quite collaborative, I would say. Like I have no ill feelings towards any other reviewers. If they get a review out for me, then fair play to them. Like, they're just better time management or something. The other aspect of competition is like getting into companies, like being on their radar. So they obviously only have so much budget to send people products. I think that's if you're in that inner circle with a brand, in terms of you're established, they trust you, you get reasonably good views, quite authentic kind of delivery, people trust and gel well with your content, then they're likely to send you stuff for an authentic review. I feel like that's probably another indirect kind of level of competition. I don't feel that directly with individuals, but just with, you know, those are the two kind of.
That's just the situation. Yeah.
There's also an aspect of like videos, multiple reviews of the same item probably feed into each other, because I'm always watching 3 or 4 reviews of a thing if I'm going to buy it, right? So Boardzy's review will drop, and then hopefully YouTube's nice enough to like recommend your video or my video as well for like the follow up there. So
that's the best time to release your video, isn't it? Is when someone else who's bigger has done it, is to be visible in their recommended.
That's probably a good point too. Yeah, I know. So there's a straw poll in the description, guys, that is very simply, do reviewers compete for views? Yes or no? I was gonna say no, but I left this purposely vague. My take was, like if you say yes, you might feel that yes, once a review is published, you know, you might not. Lamzu comes out with some new mouse that, you know, I might not buy, but somebody breaks the news, so I watch the review for that. And then that's it. I don't really care about anyone else's take. Alternatively, you might say no if you're like, yeah, if I'm serious about buying something, I'm going to get 4 different opinions. I think it's rather nuanced.
I know before I started watching, or before I started YouTube, I like to just like watch the people who made the reviews just to do something, just to enjoy their video, regardless of what the topic was. Now, I find it a little bit harder to watch reviews, I'll be honest. Especially if I already know about the mouse. But I do still watch all of like Boardzy stuff for some reason. I don't know. YouTube really thinks I like it, and it just pops up every time. So here I am.
It's because you do like it, Daz. That's what it is.
Just give it, admit. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you'll like a reviewer, and so you just want to hear their take. Or like, you know, some people will incorporate humor, or they'll do like a roundup, and that's a different narrative around the product. Yeah.
Totally.
So speaking about like potentially competing for a business's review samples, are there any brands, let's see, how did I phrase this? Are there any brands that, I ask this to both of you guys since you're YouTubers, any brands that you like working with or brands that you don't like working with? Maybe let's keep it positive. Which brands do you like working with?
Do you want to go first, Daz?
The ones that come to mind are the ones that are just like, take anything you want and like take your time, and we value your feedback. Not that everyone doesn't necessarily mean that, but like Maker comes to mind, EWEADN comes to mind. Even Linsol has been really nice to work with for IEMs. But like there's a lot of great companies like Tenta X. Like talking to Azar is a good time. Joel from T-Evolution's a really nice guy, and he'll talk for a very long time as well. There's a lot of good ones, honestly. I'll see if I can think of a bad one, but that would be kind of a interesting comment to make. So.
I've got examples of bad ones, but I won't name them specifically. But I'll tell you what makes them bad. So I had a company just keep sending me things without telling me it was coming, and then the expectation is that you would create content on it, right? But if you've already got a schedule and you know what you're supposed to be reviewing and you know how that's all set out, and you're receiving stuff from this one brand who's trying to dominate your channel in terms of content, and you're just like, I can't. Like that's really challenging to manage. And then I basically just broke ties with that brand in the end. I was just like, I'm not working with you anymore. So which is fine, you know, it's difficult to do sometimes. But like I say, I don't take this too seriously, so it's not the end of the world if I have to do that. Whereas some people want to try and protect, you know, keep those bridges going, don't they, and maintain it. But they also, the thing that killed it for me was them sending me stuff to repair for their customers. I'm just like, what on earth do you think you're doing? Like, this is not, I'm not an employee. Don't treat me like one. So that was the hardest one. And I just got like basically a room full of stuff that they've forgotten that they've sent me now, of like broken products. So they want me to like replace the flipping like the base plate for, or whatever it is, you know, like the components. Which is really, really weird.
Weird. Yeah, some brands, it's so I have gotten messaged from ROM Gaming a lot. They seem nice enough. I think there's a little bit of a language barrier when they message me, and they make good products. Basically, I had like one review that on my channel that they rather liked, and they put it on their website, and but yeah, they have a weird request where they want me to, like, they're like, we see that you have a lot of Reddit karma. Can you post, like, Reddit giveaway? You know, they're doing the weekly giveaway thing, the Gleam.io, like what Attack Shark does. And they're like, you know, can you post this and stuff? So it is interesting how brands will sometimes they don't think they know what reviewers do exactly, and I don't know if it's a cultural thing. I don't know if it's just they like what you've done in the past, so they just think that you'll be an advocate for the brand regardless. Have you repair their broken crap?
It's a challenge with reviewers. I think reviewers not knowing what their what line it is that they shouldn't cross with these brands. And I think if different reviewers have different standards, then they're going to treat you how I think the expectation is we get free stuff, and therefore we'll be an ambassador for the brand. But that's not true for everyone that they send stuff to. So,
and some companies really, really get that. I was watching the Orbital Pathfinder batch number 2, which was a Twitter video that got dropped recently, and Don, the CEO of Orbital, the entire Orbital team, they are total nerds. I remember being in Discord calls early on with the development of the mouse. They are total dorks about mice, and it's great, and it shows. And so when he talks about like batch 2, he's like, yeah, we waited a long time to produce batch 2 because we were still collecting feedback. So batch 2, it's not just they're like improving the clicks, they're launching a web driver, they're doing a bunch of small things that are actually probably worthwhile buying a batch 2 over a batch 1. But that's because they're enthusiasts about it, whereas some other brands will be, like you said, they just kind of... We get... Daz and I are Amazon Vine reviewers, and there definitely are companies that are like, you get product for free, therefore I deserve 5 stars.
Yeah.
My worst experience reviewing something was the one time I accepted a payment for a review, because it set this weird level of expectation where like... And it was through like a third party who was going out for an actual brand, so I wasn't even talking to the brand. So it was like 2 levels of communication, and then the first thing I made they didn't like, so I just had to reshoot the whole thing, which threw me off because it wasn't on my schedule, and I'd never experienced that. So for those of you watching, I don't accept payment beyond the unit for anything, because someone else I talked to recently who's also a creator just assumed all my stuff was paid, and none of it's paid basically. So
yeah, there's something about like avoiding money exchanging hands. So like ROM, they wanted to pay me like $5. First of all, it was $10, and then they later said $5 per giveaway post. And I simply said, I'll do that. Like, that's fine. I made a second Reddit account and got a little bit of karma on it. And then I was like, sure, I'll do that. But don't pay me. I don't want this to be this like weird expectation of like, I need to get something out in a certain amount of time. But it was an easy enough post. I was also like, I don't have a ton of skin in the game, and if my Reddit account gets banned, then oh well. So what I said is just like, send me a mouse every now and then, and like don't have me beholden to a review. Similarly, I had a guy reach out to me, actually emailed me, wanting me to swap switches in his Zero mouse because he didn't want to mess up the soldering on such an expensive PCB. So and he was like, how much should I pay you? And I was like, you know what? The guy also seems rather particular. He wants me to bin switches for him, which is, I think, a weird ask given how subjective switch feel is. But sure, I can do that. But I don't want there to then be he receives it back in the mail and he's like, this is too light. I don't like this. Now I have this like weird, yeah, well, you just paid me, $10-20 or whatever to solder these switches in. I'm unhappy and he wants his money back. So I was like, how about we want to bin switches? Buy 20 switches, I'll put the 2 best ones in, and I'll keep the rest. That way, if he's unhappy and wants to like me to redo the work, I still have the switches. Also, there wasn't like a direct money change of hands. So I think there are like some scenarios that you can make it work uniquely, but yeah, money changing hands can get expectations can get awkward.
Absolutely, you become almost like an employee, don't you, to that brand?
Yeah. Yeah,
I think it has an impact on your credibility as a reviewer as well.
Yeah, spoiler, we have potentially I am DMing Upgrade Lemonade, who now works for Pwnage.
I love that guy, man. He's awesome.
Yeah, dude, when you just DM a creator, you can tell when they're like, I don't know, they give you the time, they're real, they're down to earth. Which I would imagine most of them are, because we are like normal people who generally have normal jobs. That's not a topic.
He's just cool though. He's just a cool guy, isn't he?
He's really nice. Yeah, I talked to him a bit that one day too. Yeah.
Yeah, I also didn't know he moved. I won't say where he moved to, but he moved countries rather quite a cultural shift.
Drastically.
Yeah. But I'm in his DMs no commitment if he's going to be on the pod. Same thing goes with Flick Mice in their DMs. No commitment if they're going to be on the pod. I did ask, and it sounds like the Flick Mouse CEO guy is very eager to talk about China manufacturing, about the development process. Perfect for a podcast. And also Azar from 10 to X is coming on likely next month, guys. So I mentioned jobs. This isn't on here. Log, would you mind sharing what you do for work, if that's interesting?
I'm not sure it's very interesting, but I guess you could say I'm maybe an operations manager.
Okay.
I do a lot of generalist stuff in like a corporate environment. So at the moment, a lot of project management, project delivery stuff, but that will change when that project is completed. I'll do some other stuff. That's probably as specific as I'll go with it, but it's broad. Because it's broad, it's vaguely interesting. Yeah. What about you guys? What are you willing to share?
Yeah, I'm a mechanical engineer at an automotive company.
I'd have guessed that. Yeah.
Really? Wait, why? Is it my?
Mate, I was on your stream, I think, a little while ago, and someone asked you about talk or something, and you just had like the perfect example. I was like, that sounds really interesting. It's like, and it makes sense to me. I'm just like, yeah, he's an engineer. Yeah.
Yeah. I was a senior software engineer, and now I'm like a development lead manager. Sort of gone into the people leader route, which is definitely a route to take. So it's been an interesting experience.
Definitely a route. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I got another one. Reviewer guilt. That's one you have, Log. Can you elaborate on this? That's a little.
Yeah, I think my issue is I'm just I'm maybe just a nice guy, right? So I don't like, not saying that everyone else isn't, by the way. I'll get that in that caveat quickly. But if someone is enjoying the product that they have, and then they watch one of my reviews and they buy something as a result of that review, and then they message me, which has happened afterwards, saying I didn't like it, it wasn't quite what you said it was for me, then I'm like, oh shit, I feel a bit rough about that. Like I wish like I could change that for you, but I can't, obviously. But that's why I don't anymore in my videos. At least I don't think I do. Maybe I do. I don't think I do. I don't say this is my new favorite, because I don't want people to. I want people to hear what I'm saying about it, why I like it, what I do, what I don't like about it, and make their mind up for themselves. But I do. That was something that I struggled with a lot early on in the YouTube space, because it does feel like marketing sometimes. You're not trying to market a product, but that's what it feels like. People are watching it to decide if they want to buy something, and if you glaze a product and they get a bad quality unit, then I sometimes feel personally responsible for that. So I don't know. It's just, I don't know, Daz or Phalanges, if you've had similar kind of.
Maybe you're a better person than I don't feel any guilt, really, but I also just like, people just need to be responsible with their money and understand that they're making their own decision, I guess.
Yeah.
I'll like give a recommendation, like I could recommend this as a mouse that's like usable and it's good and it's high quality. Yeah. But or I'll be like, yeah, I wouldn't really recommend getting this. But beyond that, I'm not going to try and like sell you. And I hope I don't sound like I'm trying to sell things. Maybe I mean that is the nature of the job. Not even a job, the hobby, I guess. Like you said, you are sort of marketing things, but not really. Much like what you said with brands. I don't really want to brand myself as an ambassador for any brand. I just want to like be a guy that talks about things and tells you what I think, basically. But yeah, I do have people say that sometimes, and I try to be like somewhat empathetic in the comments and be like, oh, it's terrible. Like, how can I help you? But I mean, at the end of the day, I gotta live my own life, and I got plenty of problems. So,
and you ain't one.
Yeah, but I mean, have some confidence too in knowing that you probably have tried more products and have more knowledge than what most of these people looking for recommendation. Like, you still are offering something, even if I know I'll sometimes have. Well, I won't say I'll have like reviewer, because I'm not really a reviewer, but I could see how, like, you look at somebody like a Pizogo, somebody who's incredibly technically competent, and, like, I only understand literally, part of his review, because the other part of it's, like, far beyond my understanding. And so then it's like, wow, am I even qualified? But, yeah, you got to remember that also the people who subscribe to your channel and click on your videos, they're doing that by choice, because they vibe with you for one reason or another. I know.
I guess. Go on.
The one last thing is with like Amazon Vine reviews of mice. Um, I so many Amazon reviews are just like wall of text. Here's my subjective experience. Here's like some crap that like nobody's gonna read. I just opt to disassemble the mouse and take disassembly pictures because the Amazon page won't say what sensor or clicks it's using. So then I'm totally my opinion. I'm just stating facts. I'm not even giving an opinion.
Yeah, fair days.
Oh, interesting. I'm like very opinionated in Vine reviews. Just sit there and like type 2 paragraphs of how I felt about the mouse, and I'm like, all right, next. Interesting.
I'm not even aware of Amazon Vine, so yeah, I'm gonna go and look it up after this.
Yeah, it's an invite-only program. Daz got the thought is that it's based on your Amazon purchase history and how many of those like little thumbs up this was helpful things you get. This is all hearsay. A lot of the inner workings are not really discussed, but we basically, I don't think we're not supposed to like talk about the inner workings publicly a whole lot. I actually got caught doing that and I had to delete a Reddit thread. But yes, we get products in exchange for, or we have to write a review, and we do here in the US, the government sees whenever we receive an item as taxable income. So if I receive a item that's $100 value, blowing up these tanks is hilarious. Is they see that as $100 worth of income, so we have to pay income tax. Let's say 25% when it comes to tax season. I believe for the people who have it I know in England, I don't know about all of the UK, they don't have such a thing. So their products are all totally free. But yes, it's invite only.
I'm moving. Okay.
Yeah. I know my total for like each year I've been in it in like 2.5 years has historically been like around $10,000-$12,000. So 25% of that's owed at tax time.
Quite significant, isn't it? At the end of the year.
Yeah, but it's also like a life changer in some regards of like shopping on Amazon. My wife and I always just check Vine first, and it's not always on there. It's mostly cheap Chinese crap, but it does change your life in a small way. How about, why don't we pick one of Daz's? Daz had on here, do you often speak to other creators? Sometimes it feels lonely.
I used to a lot more than I do now. I guess I don't know if this is true for you guys you've been doing it for a few years, Phalanges, but Daz, I don't know if it's true for you, but I kind of you kind of grow your channel at the same time as your peers, so you're kind of going through. I mean, you're going through the numbers quite quickly, Daz. But when I was going up through the numbers, there were a few creators that were in a similar boat and a similar sort of view count, similar sort of subs, and you would just kind of pull together and support each other, and that felt quite nice. Just in each other's comment section, on Twitter, just shooting shit at each other in between videos, but nothing too chummy, nothing too like friendly, just peer support almost. But not so much anymore. Just I don't know, I guess I just follow my nose now. If I'm interested in something and I know someone's got it, then I'll ask them a question. But I'm not like I wouldn't say I'm like best friends with any other content creators. There's probably a couple of people that were originally viewers, I think, which I now talk to almost every day. Just like a couple of friends that I've made through the channel. I play with sometimes and stuff like that, but not so much other creators. Interested to hear what your experience is.
Yeah, I'm not one to like reach out really. I don't know if it's like a social anxiety thing or not, but like Dat Boy Guru reached out to me at one point. We talked quite a bit. He's like the main creator that I like speak with often, but otherwise, I guess in the last week randomly I've talked to like 5 new creators out of the blue, so maybe it'll go somewhere from there. But they all reached out to me, either join the server or some other method. But yeah, I don't know, I was just mostly rolling along alone, and it was going all right. So, but yeah, having somebody to bounce ideas off of is huge. Just sort of be in the same boat. So talk about the industry, talk about companies, etc., etc.
Yeah, I agree with like you're not necessarily chummy with a bunch of other creators, but you certainly are in the same situation, so you're very aware of, I don't know, maybe it matters more if like you're reviewing an embargoed product and you're like, hey, mine has this issue, but I don't want to like have that be like this game breaking issue. But I don't want that to, and like that's the narrative I was gonna go with. Are you guys experiencing the same thing?
I've had a couple of people reach out in that way.
Oh,
They
really?
were also going to review the same mouse, and they were like, "Hey, it's like the G23 V2 slam click issue. I didn't notice because I don't usually think to test for that because I just don't use a mouse that way."
That's good.
But another creator reached out and was like, "Hey, I'm having this issue," and that helped me out. So I just called it out in my video and then tag them and call them out in the video to like thank them for mentioning it. So and it was a good conversation too.
Yeah, but like in general, if I retweet some creator or whatever, they'll give me the little heart like or whatever. Also, Boardzy on a live stream this week shouted out MouseCast. Well, not shouted out, mentioned MouseCast. I thought that was.
Was it
So
Stripe?
he's a frequent viewer, is he?
No, I highly doubt he has the time or.
It was like,
Wait,
will you
wait,
collab with
we'll
the
watch
Daz?
this.
The Daz. The gap in your stash makes me giggle. Yeah, I've actually had the same thoughts numerous times. With Daz, I don't know. I mean, I sent him that mouse. I should go on that podcast, actually. The fucking...
Yes,
what is
you
it called?
should.
The MouseCast?
You should.
That would be funny.
Yeah, that's the only mention we got, but it was pretty cool to see the awareness. Yeah, dude, I haven't formally invited Boardzy. I feel like he's such a busy guy, being pretty much the #1 mouse reviewer probably right now, right? But
Although
yeah.
is he though? Because he's retired, isn't he? He said he retired, and then all of
No.
a sudden he's still pumping out content. He's got pumping out content faster than anyone else, but he's retired. So is he? Is he a
Retired.
reviewer? I don't know. Maybe you should ask him on the podcast.
yeah, I know.
What's he doing? Is he a reviewer? Isn't he a reviewer?
I don't know. I understand, like, maybe, yeah, I would like to hear his thoughts a little bit more. I'm sure he did his video covering it. I don't exactly remember the take, but wanting to be more op-ed, I don't know, is that...
He just didn't want to cover something he didn't want to cover. Like, he was only going to cover releases he thought were interesting. Which just still, I mean, he seems like his content's pretty similar, just like the bigger main releases, but yeah. Maybe he won't cover something like an IPI float in the future. Who knows?
Maybe. Yeah, I
That
do
was
get
the
that.
first comment I got from him was on my float review. Just
Oh,
said shocking review. I was like,
Yeah.
eh. It was like the one time I posted on Reddit, and then Log was like, "Nice review, Daz," and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Someone commented who was like notable.
It's funny because for the MouseCast podcast, like everything is interesting. Like the most popular segment we did a poll is the news segment. So anytime there's a new release, I'm browsing AliExpress, searching gaming mice by newest releases on Amazon daily. Met Keys is another one I check. Twitter's another one I check. So like my take's
New
the
cover
opposite.
is organic.
But I don't need to film a 10-minute long video on it. I just add it to the podcast document with a hyperlink. That's the extent of it. So like that's a content creation strategy for me. If oh my god, I could say that about myself. The MouseCast, it's literally about lowest barrier to entry. If this becomes too much effort, if it becomes too overproduced, it's gonna die out. Just because that's the reality of. I'm getting 400 or 500 views an episode. My AdSense that I just enabled is like probably $3. I don't have a financial incentive. My incentive is purely my enjoyment, and my enjoyment gets lowered when I have to spend hours editing. That's one of the changes that we like doing live, not only to interact with chat, which I realize I have now been neglecting, but I don't have to upload it.
Yeah.
I totally agree with what you've just said, by the way, about, you know, this is something that's changed with my approach to making content over the last maybe 2 years since I've been doing it, is just taking a really balanced, like, what's achievable for me to make, and then not making myself do more than that. So I've gone from recording the audio solely by itself in its own little track to then, like, after I've done that, I sort of fill in all the gaps with pictures and videos, which honestly takes forever. So I've gone from doing that to just basically scribbling my notes on a piece of paper. So I'll spend 20 minutes writing everything down, everything I want to say, everything I've observed, and then I'll go straight from that. The act of writing it down means it's imprinted in my brain, and now I just like talk to a camera, and it's so much easier. And there's no like having to fill in the gaps because it's me on the camera talking. People can see me. There's no like need for background footage unless I want to do it. It just makes it so much more manageable. And I understand not everyone wants to watch that, But for me, it's what I can achieve. Like with everything else going on in life, like Daz has got kids, I've got kids, we've got busy jobs. I know you sound really busy as well, Phalanges, and it's just you can really quickly burn yourself out if you're trying to do all of that stuff alongside super highly, high production quality stuff as well. So I had a bit of a come to Jesus moment, which was either I stopped doing it or I just start doing it the way that I can, which is just a little bit lazy and more manageable. So that's where I'm at. I relate to what you just said deeply.
I was going to ask you what your like methodology for like creating reviews was. It sounds like you have like a loose little guide that you imprint in your brain to sort of help yourself out, and you just go for it.
Yeah, so I know, like, I've done it for a while now, so I know like broadly what people are interested in, what like my niche within the niche is, which is like how things feel, what the experience is, etc. And I write it all down in as much detail as I feel like I can be bothered to. And then I've got my piece of paper next to me on the desk. I'm talking to the camera, and if I fluff it or I don't say it quite how I wrote it down, if I feel like I've not done it service, then I'll just stop. I'll look at what I've written down and I'll do it again until I get it right. And that's just a case of cutting out all the crap bits and then uploading it. It's not even, it's not even the editing is super easy, super chill.
Yeah.
There are certain things, like if I was going to do a bigger product launch or something like that, and someone had reached out to me and I was one of like maybe 5 reviewers, I'd do a more scripted, sort of more old school kind of review. I'd probably get the old teleprompter out, which I've got, which I don't use, by the way. I'd get the old teleprompter out and I'd sort of try and structure it a little bit better, be really careful with the amount of words you use, because people get bored, all that stuff. But I don't do that very frequently anymore. And one of the things which I'm sure we both can relate to is like content capacity. So my capacity to create content is it's from the same budget of capacity as my capacity for like life generally. So when life generally is busy, my capacity for content just falls off a cliff. So when work is quiet is when I make a lot of videos, and work at the moment is absolutely manic. So that's kind of my relationship with YouTube. It's very relaxed. It's very do it how I want to do it, not how people expect me to do it kind of deal.
Yeah, I really respect that. That's a very healthy outlook to have, and I need to get closer to that, I would say. So my capacity for content creation is 100% based on if my kids wake up after they go to bed, basically. Yeah. Because I'm trying to squeeze it into like a 2-3 hour window at best. So
yeah, there was that. Sorry,
go ahead. It's gotta be okay. Just gotta realize that's fine. This is not a job; it's just for fun. So.
Yeah, but yours could turn into a job though. Like
Boardzy, he says he's full time.
Yeah.
Who is?
Boardzy.
Oh, Boardzy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got to remember this tweet is very important, guys.
You asked for it, Daz.
I did ask for it.
Yeah, so someone's tell me to stop saying I'll review so many things when I already have too many to review.
Daz, stop saying you'll review things when you've already got too many things to review.
And I've said no twice since then, so thank you. Yeah.
Hey, it worked.
Yeah, I know in our DMs, Daz and I have talked, and I'm always like, bro, don't get burnt out. I want the reviews to keep coming. I legitimately watch your reviews, Daz, except for the IEMs. But I think...
No, I don't watch IEM reviews either. So,
I do
I
legitimately...
like
What did I most recently watch? Your glacier, your Chilkey Glacier review. I legitimately watched. Oh yeah, this is a funny bit here. I got a kill on a tank, and then like a helicopter flies over. This is so. I'm using like armor piercing ammo too. Like this is not intended gameplay, but also I hate vehicles, so I don't feel bad. So let's see, what was this other topic? Randomly I was playing Battlefield yesterday in the Discord. This guy from our Discord, DAREU, like Russia, or I barely talked to him. He asked a question that I initially was like, yeah, whatever. But the more I think about it, it's a really good question. He said, why does it seem like Chinese companies, or at least the ones that Daz has covered recently, are getting less focused on the super duper ultralight G-Wolves 32 gram full-size mouse weights? And I initially was like, I don't know if that's the case. I mean, look at like, I don't know, MCHO's has the L7 Plus that recently released that's like, I mean, it has a big ass battery, but otherwise it's like a 40-ish gram mouse. Um, and I mean, there are companies like AULA SC800 is super lightweight, Amber 35.8. But he was like, yeah, but I mean, like the Kaisona Jupiter is a recent release that's like 50 grams. I don't know. Personally, I think there's very few mice that I own that are below 40 grams that are legitimately like better build quality that's worthwhile in like for the weight trade-off. For example, Pulsar Crazy X2 Crazy Light, very well built mouse for being around. If you take off the skates, I think it's like 36 grams. Whereas like the DAREU A950 Wing, fantastic weight at like 34 grams. Clicks feel like crap because everything's so flimsy. So me personally, I was using the something the other day. Maybe it was this Incot mouse, and I was like, 45 grams is really a sweet spot between lightweight and good build quality that inspires confidence when gaming. What's your guys' thoughts?
Go on,
I
Daz.
think 65 grams is like the random cutoff I've decided in my mind is where a mouse starts to get too heavy. Like the MH01 Pro felt too heavy in my hand. The Vaxee XE V1 felt too heavy, but I can use anything from like an HGS Ultra up to like an XM2W, and I adjust to the weight pretty quickly. I don't know. Some companies might just be trying to get better build quality, like Impic. A lot of their mice before the INX were just built like tanks, but they felt really good, and no one's going to complain about any like aspects of it because it's just so well built. Whatever factory they happen to use. But yeah, something like the A950 Wing, like the clicks, I click at the bottom, so they were bendy, and like the edges were like really, really flimsy. I don't know. It doesn't have to be lightweight. And there's a lot of people in the comments on YouTube that are talking about, yeah, I don't really care about how lightweight it is. Like, just does it feel good? And some people actually want it heavier. So
it's interesting, isn't it? Because it's like a super lightweight stuff has a sometimes, unless you're like super cracked and you're like super, the whole calm aim thing. If you can keep calm, if you can use your peripherals to their maximum potential, then super lightweight stuff is great. But not all of us are in that boat, and I'm not in that boat. I enjoy the experience of using super lightweight stuff, but I don't need more than one really really lightweight mouse to get that itch scratched. So I think for me, like my favorite mouse probably maybe still is the NPO1, which is like 72, 73 grams.
Interesting.
And I have no issue gaming with that. Like I can do just as much as I can on that mouse as I can with other things, but it just offers a different experience. So if you want to feel like you're moving an object around in your hands while you game, nothing wrong with that. That's like a heavier mouse experience. If you just want to intuitively throw something around and not feel it so much in your fingers, then that's very different again. So yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting one. I think it's been maybe a year or 2 years of like pushing the boundaries of weight, and maybe people realizing that actually there's limited benefit in going below certain weight ranges.
I think there's
Definitely.
there's a lot of companies are figuring out what sells too, So whenever there's a new specification, I mean, you saw with 8K hertz polling, you saw a bunch of companies remaking mice, like, or the 3950, for example, Lamzu Maya Champion Edition. Well, the other one I think had a 3950, but they'll do these because they're trying to see if that will sell. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. The ultra super duper lightweight train, I think, was one marketing one that people are like, yes, that's a number on a spec sheet that can objectively make my product more attractive than a competitor's. But then after a year or two of this, people maybe realize what matters more. Yeah, I'll argue things like coding, skates. I'm really big on click feel. Click feel is really important because you can have awesome aim, but if click feel is off, then you'll mistime a click, which will lead to a missed shot. Yeah, I think there's a level of discovery that both people and brands go through just when boundaries are pushed.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with the buttons, by the way. I would rather a mouse with insane button implementation than an insanely light mouse. I would rather it be mid weight range, extremely high quality sort of button implementation, than super lightweight and mid buttons. I'd rather have the heavier option.
Yep.
The endgame gear, even though they're getting pretty light, or the Vaxee.
Yeah, a perfect example for me is the DAREU A950 wing. It's kind of like a Final Mouse medium shape. Excellent side buttons. Really nice. I love the shape. The flimsy clicks ruin it for me. And I would say one of the mice that I aim the best with is the BeastX medium. Just like pretty much the same shape, but it's heavier. Yeah. Let's go into... I already kind of touched on... What's the criteria?
I guess that's the same one I was going to say, yeah. What's like your threshold or criteria for saying yes to a review unit or something that you're going to review? Vlog?
If I'm actually interested in it, and if I don't, so if it's different to anything that I've got already, it's probably a good criteria. So is it going to be fun to use? And if the answer to that is no, then I'm like, I don't want to use it, so I'm not going to review it.
Have you ever had a company react negatively to you passing on a review opportunity?
I've not been asked again by certain companies, which I guess you could say is a negative response.
I've seen that too. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't really bother me. I think if I'm interested in something, I would probably be willing to buy it anyway. So if they don't send it to me, then I would probably just buy it, which is where my channel is going at the moment. So there's only a couple of brands really that I accept stuff from, which is G-Wolves, because although we've just said lightweight stuff isn't the preference for a lot of people, I still find it really fun to use. I still really enjoy the experience that they provide. So G-Wolves is one of them, and Vaxee is probably the other brand that I would accept stuff from. Occasionally there'll be like a video idea that I have in my mind, and I'm like, wouldn't it be useful if I had, a new control pad to compare a previous one to, or something like that? And then someone will reach out, like the Tenta X kind of fell into that category of, potentially not a very exciting thing to cover, but I accepted the product because it was kind of fell into my schedule anyway. So I'm pretty selfish these days with what I accept and what I don't. So if I'm personally not invested in trying the thing and wanting to spend hours making the content and testing, and then I'm just not going to take it. I think that comes down to, like, without just telling you how to value yourselves, but just valuing your own time and your own currency, isn't it? Basically, so you've only got so much. If you say yes to one thing, you're saying no to something else, right? So
that's a good point. Yeah, I should almost do a retrospective on the recent reviews I've done, maybe, and think about how I felt while I was reviewing it, because there were definitely some keyboards, for example, where I was just dreading it because it just wasn't interesting, and I questioned why I said yes to it. But that's been the front
Keyboards
on which I've been saying no more, because every company will send you 25 of their keyboards, is what I've found, at least. It seems. Mice are hard to come by.
A really hard part of the market to penetrate, I think.
Yeah,
is the keyboard stuff. Yeah, totally agree.
And I feel like I don't quite go in depth as much as I would like to, because I don't have the tools or the knowledge. So like, I feel like other people do it better with their latency testing and stuff. So
yeah, totally.
I get caught up in actually just wanting to try all the new tech, no matter what it is, because it's just like interesting. But then also like, oh, there's some baggage here. I have to review this, and I don't want to like not do the product justice. So yeah.
The thing I found with accepting lots of stuff is you just end up with a massive review backlog, which means you tend to rush things, and you tend to not enjoy the process. And just like we go back to capacity again, it just takes up your mental load, doesn't it? It just keeps building. It keeps building. The cache in your brain just gets filled up, and then burnout seeps in. So
agree. Yeah, sometimes I just want to play some games, but I'm like, I can't. I have to get this review out. So yeah, you're
totally agree.
So we're approaching about an hour in right now. So I think this is a rather good one to end on. So you have here, Log, some advice for new YouTubers, and I want to add to that too. Is it too late for people that might want to try to start up a reviewing channel?
I don't think it's too late.
No.
I would just say that the game has slightly changed is the observation. So like what might have been you might have like in Rocket Jump Ninja's time where he's talking about sensor implementation either being good or bad. Like all sensors are pretty good now. Like it's more around how you cover it. I think is like a bit of personality, a bit of bringing out relevant points for today's kind of problems is what I think people could do. I don't think it's too late for people to start. I don't know, Daz, if you agree with that. Well, you're kind of proof for that, so
yeah. I started 9 months ago, so
yeah.
Just carve out your niche, stick to it, be true to yourself, and probably watch the last hour of this podcast. It might help you out a little bit, honestly. So
yeah. So in terms of tips for new content creators, we touched on a few of these things already, but I think the main thing, in addition to what we've already spoken about, being around like valuing your time and not burning out and all of that stuff, is just getting comfortable behind a camera. Like it's quite difficult to sit in a room and talk to yourself, sort of in an entertaining way or like in a slightly animated way. It's not something that came naturally. If you watch some of my older stuff, I'm kind of like frozen solid, sort of stood in my room, kind of talking about the script of the product. Whereas over the time that I've been doing it, it's become a lot more sort of natural, a bit more what the word is, relatable to people. And I think that's a real benefit if you can just be a normal human being and talk to people in a way that is not patronizing, is like I say, just relatable. Then that goes a long way I would suggest for new reviewers, and covering things that you're interested in, because as soon as you lose interest in what you're trying to do, then your channel dies, I think. Because why are you doing it at that point? Because like we've said, you make fuck all money doing this. Like even if you're like heavily into the affiliate schemes and stuff, like I still probably spend more than I make now, and I'm 2 years in. I just do it for fun, and I'm not super careful. Like I know Phalanges, you keep a spreadsheet, you do things at zero cost, but I like to hoard things. If I like something, I don't want to sell it, so I tend to. It costs me more than I make doing YouTube. So I'm basically paying to do it, but I enjoy it. So I don't know if that scratches the itch. If you've got any sort of further questions on that, but
I think from my side, just cliche, but yeah, have fun with it. Like I said earlier about how the MouseCast is supposed to be like not overly produced because effort will take away from the from my personal desire to do it. And then I think another one too, you mentioned narcissism in your 1 year, update to the channel thing. And I thought that was interesting how some people feel like, yeah, I don't want to sit in front of a camera and just talk. Like, why do people want to hear about me? If you're one of those people who feels that way and that's what's stopping you from making content, who cares? YouTube is the exact space it's a safe space for narcissists. No, people are here to watch your take. They're here to get different opinions. Don't worry about, I would say don't worry about others' opinions. When you get your negative brain dead ass comments, don't take those to heart. Remember to, we are all familiar with that. You get some stupid comment and it sticks with you. And I can still remember comments that got under my skin from literally a decade ago. And don't worry about it, because look at the like bar, for that one stupid comment, you had 48 other people who agreed with your take. So
yeah, you tell me that every time I'm like, another comment about me talking too quickly and mumbling a bit. It's true criticism. People really like to dig in on that one, but
vocal minority, they can click off
98% likes, you're good. Just chill.
Yeah. There's a level of I understand you want to take constructive feedback and improve your content, but there's also a level of being true to yourself, and you're not going to make everyone happy, so don't allow yourself to be pulled in 80 different directions.
Totally.
Okay. So, Log, do you have any questions for us?
What's your motivation Is it just enjoyment, or is there more to it?
That's a good question. I have an answer. Do you want me to go first, Az?
Yeah, go ahead.
A long time, and this ties into your question about is endgame real. Probably about my search for endgame ended probably somewhere around, I don't know, 2021, when I realized I went from these giant ass palm grip mice, like again the Ikari optical, because they were great for Battlefront rapid firing, to I went to a Razer Abyssus V2. Small mouse. This is an amazing shape. It's kind of like a ZA13 a little bit. This is kind of the simple claw-shaped ambi mice that is so popular nowadays, but this came out back, and I want to say, like, wait, can we see release date? And I love this thing. July 2016. And I realized, switching to fingertip and claw grip, that my aim was better. And any sort of change within mice, it's a negligible improvement, if any, right? You're going to be better off just having a better game sense, situational awareness, map knowledge, weapon knowledge in a game. So it was at that point that I was like, no, I'm in this for... I gotta go bring up retention gameplay. I'm in this not for the endgame search, but for the... I like trying new stuff. Same thing goes for... There was a guy who I've met up with locally who's like he's like a top 500 Overwatch player. And he simply was like, yeah, I just like trying new stuff. So I think, to answer your question simply, it's really fun to try new stuff in combination with my spreadsheet, making it guilt-free purchases. I would say that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, along the same lines. It really is just like just itch to just continue trying new things. It's just like an extension of the hobby. Like I had way too many mice when I started this. Maybe this is just justifying that. But I would also often just like play games for 2 or 3 hours a night, and at the end I'd be like, well, that was kind of like a little tilting, or like that wasn't super fun. What am I doing with my time? At least in this area, I'm like creating something, and there's something to show for it, and there's like more of a satisfaction level that you've put in the work, and like there's a finished product, and you can be proud of it. So there's like a little bit of fulfillment in it as well, which has been a little less lately, and I need to get fully back to that. So
it can be quite validating, can't it, when it goes well, or it's nice to be productive as well sometimes.
It is. Yeah.
And it's like really cool too. We have like a Discord of a bunch of people who like care about our opinions and engage in interesting discussion with one another. Yeah, there's something rewarding about I don't want it to make it sound like it's about me, but like, you help bring you help build a community, and you brought people together, and people are enjoying it. And maybe that's just part of getting older. This is a little philosophical, but maybe that's a part of getting older too. You care a little bit more about the impact that you're having that's beyond yourself.
I also just generally enjoy talking to people in the comments, and also on Discord. Yeah, like I check the Discord like enthusiastically and love the conversations there.
Oh yeah,
it's really active, your Discord. I quite enjoy it. Yeah, I don't always comment in there, but I tend to read it. I'm a bit of a Discord noob, so I'm a bit of a voyeur in the Discord. But yeah,
I think Pwnage and I should be proud of the fact multiple people have said it's just like a nice place to talk about peripherals or anything really. It's not like some of the bigger Discords of YouTubers, maybe no fault of their own, just got really big and toxic. It seems to be the vibe, so I'm trying to prevent that. We put a few mods in place, and I'm not really sure they even have to moderate much yet, so that's kind of nice. So
yeah,
we're going to try and keep it that way. Yeah.
Decent.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Well, hey, thank you so much for coming on, Log. You want to dip out? You want to stick around for the news segment?
I'm gonna go and record some content. I'm gonna capitalize on my kids not being here, and I'm gonna smash out a couple of videos. So
Amen.
Yeah, gents, thanks for your time. It's been really fun talking. So
yeah, thank you for coming on. Yep. Yeah. See ya.
Take it steady, fellas. Bye bye.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, I got to turn on the news banner, and then I need to unlock this window and move it something like that. Lock. That was really good. Dude, what a cool guy.
It was awesome. Yep. I'm jealous of his kids are going to do something. Then again, I didn't get to see my kids enough this week, so
Yeah,
see,
he
there's a
said
balance. Like I want to spend time with them. So yeah.
he said one of them was going horseback riding, and the other one was going cycling. Sounds like going to be a good Saturday for them.
Ooh, different phase of life. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, different. Yeah, mine are. One's a potato, and the other one loves nothing other than mommy.
He's a mobile crawling potato now. Yeah.
Oh yeah, good. Okay, let's go into news. I put up the banner. First topic, because this is in the thumbnail. I should actually just bring up the actual video, huh? Lamzu at GamesCom 2025. So I don't really know what GamesCon is. Game convention, I guess. But Lamzu, okay, they have a bunch of mice that we recognize. Thorn, Maya X, Pero, Aurora. We have, this is interesting. Look at these, dude. Everyone's focused on the carbon fiber Tula, but look at these. I think, look at that. Is that like an HTS? Stubby little guy. I don't think it's
That's
the camera angle, right?
It might be. I don't know.
Is that just a Maya X? The bottom looks like a Maya... Oh, is it just a Maya X?
I think so.
Oh, fisheye lens got me, dude. This is an updated... I think, is this the new updated Maya? Maybe?
Those skates are massive.
Massive, yes. Yeah. Maya X. I saw somebody on eBay selling the Aim Labs one for like $200, being like limited edition rare. Is it
Whoa.
really rare? Isn't it still being sold?
Can find out.
Yeah. The
It's a Maya
Atlantis
X, right?
Yeah, Maya X.
Out
I got
of stock.
Purple fade. Oh, okay. Here's the Tula. So we have a carbon fiber mouse. Look at this thing. I should let's do 1440p and playback speed half speed. And I'm gonna mute it because the audio is gonna be all garbled. Larger skates is nice to see. The bottom looks kind of Maya X where it's slightly tapered but looks like it's rather flat-sided. A very safe shape. The art on the bottom is really cool. The skull, sure, I'm down with the theme. The sort of carbon fiber aesthetic with gold flake, I think looks really good. Kind of what the Ying, the WL mouse Ying did. No big old sensor skate in the middle. And then we have, if he zooms in here, the top shell has like a metal accent piece with braille on it. Oh, look at the little hearts for the screws. I wonder if this is going to be hot swap. Because the screws are exposed and not under the skates. Oh, maybe this is a removable base plate?
It's quite the design, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Probably, because it looks like it's entirely contained, right?
it does. Also, this is another small skate here. Do you actually know why mice have skate rings on around the sensor?
My best guess would be to like mess with LD, but I guess you could adjust LD without it back in the day, so I don't know.
Logitech was the first to do center skate rings, and their very early ones was a U shape like this. The G100S bottom was this way. It is to kind of, which theirs isn't even a skate, it's like a piece of plastic. It's supposed to flatten the pad a little bit as you move the mouse around so that the sensor is registering like as true one-to-one motion. I also think they said something, don't quote me on this, I think they said something about like brushing away dust and debris too. I don't know about that, but yeah, mice did not used to have a center skate ring. Also, some like lightweight modders will get rid of it. It's not technically essential if you use a quality pad on a good surface. Tula apparently is the name though. Tula. Tula. Dude, remember the Tachi?
I do. One I've never used before.
I wonder if Log has one. I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe. You know what's really funny? I think it was 7 o'clock. My like night mode turned off, and suddenly I looked like a pale ghost because my screen was like full brightness.
Oh, really?
So I've just gone and turned it back on, so I don't look like a pale ghost, basically.
Yeah, people might have noticed it's getting lighter. You can see through my window here. We started. Yeah, I got up at 5, and we started recording a little bit after 6. So it's currently 7:30 a.m.
Yep.
All right, he's gonna pick up the Tula here. Really good looking mouse. I don't. Spicy take here, Daz. I'm kind of bored of these shapes. Can Lamzu give us something wild? But maybe that was. Think about like the Tachi didn't sell well. They went with a really safe shape on the Tachi. and it still didn't sell well. But when you're developing like an expensive ass magnesium mouse, you probably want to do something safe. That's something that the clone Chinese companies maybe have going for them, and one of the business reasons why they clone is they already kind of know what sales are like. So if they can say, oh yes, sales of the Viper V3 Pro are this much, if we can capture 2%, it will be this dollar amount.
I was just listening to a podcast, very relevant, like literally last night, from some guy who's like some guru, blah, 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 blah. And he was just talking about cloning being the way that everybody succeeds. Like Microsoft and Apple are like seen like Steve Jobs and Bill Gates as innovators, but really they just found other products, cloned them, did them better. Or even if you're like a secondary marketer, you can do it like 90% as well. And like the market will accept 2, 3, 5 of the same thing if it's priced well, if it's made well.
Yeah.
Like you can find your niche. And that's exactly what they're doing in like ATK and MCHOs and COT. So
a guy I was talking to in Discord yesterday, actually the guy that I'm like going to solder the switches into the Zero Mouse for, he said, some aim trainer guy on YouTube said, you can either be an innovator or focused on honing existing skills. And I thought that was rather interesting. Maybe you and I both being in technical fields where we create a product more or less, right? That's like definitely two different takes to the same development of whether it's a product or whatever. You can innovate, go for the really big groundbreaking thing, maybe a bit of like what I think Final Mouse is now more at their honing stage, but earlier on they were bigger into innovating. G-Wolves is a bit that way too. Wild, crazy, out there shapes at insane weights with just double sensors and stuff. Or you can be a honer, as awkward as it sounds, you can be a honer where you just take something and you just revise it to be the very best copy of itself. So from like a mouse standpoint, there's a lot of things that are already figured out. The GPX is, when I was talking to the Flick Mouse guy, he was like, remember that we're a really small niche. The majority of the market owns Viper V3 Pros and GPX Superlights, and they're already just a smaller segment of the overall gaming mouse market that owns G502 Master Race, Reddit, and Razer Basilisks, and Corsair M65 with a little adjustable weights and crap.
Yeah.
So honing probably makes a lot of sense from a business perspective. It's certainly a lot less risky. They're also showing off here a glass pad, by the way.
That's crazy. Lamzu glass pad. Who would have thought?
Yeah, Lamzu Energon is amazing. Sorry, I should let you talk about. Did you have a take
That's all I had.
Yeah.
No. Glass pads, I perform well on them and I like them, but I only buy them for like art and like videos at this point, which is silly because they're expensive. Like there isn't that much differentiation in my experience, in your experience on a glass pad, unless it's like truly very fast, very slow. Coded versus uncoded. Yeah.
I like the sort of South Native American Aztec or whatever. Is this an Aztec temple? I don't know. They have Inca, Maya, Pero. Wait, what does Pero mean? Define Pero. Aztec. Harar? Oh, this is okay.
The Pwnage Aztec legend. Give me the yellow Aztec with the tent out the back.
Heck yeah, you Doug DeMuro back. Yeah. Let's move on to Sony announces a new gaming mouse, the INZONE Mouse A. Terrible name. INZONE is like their gaming brand, like their high refresh OLED monitor is called this. Here is the announcement live stream that they did. He talks about that we achieved a 48.4 gram weight. Ideal for the pro player. Let me turn off. Light with certain robustness. So yeah, they showed off it has a skeleton structure, and they're launching it with a bunch of other peripherals. Looks like a 75% board and 2 gaming mouse pads, Mat D and Mat F. Also IEMs and a headset. So the pads might be a little
probably too. H75.
I hope so. H75.
This is actually brilliant. A giant brand like this grabbing like peripherals, like give one away with your TV, get them in all of Best Buy, be right next to all the other stuff like Razer SteelSeries.
Good take. Yeah. Same thing with like having 2 different mouse fabrics, because again, the SteelSeries QCK Performance Series, none of us care about it anymore. Guys, the normies in Best Buy and Micro Center now realize there are different surfaces with different speeds. That is groundbreaking.
Right. That's crazy when you think about it. Like, I guess that's a reason to keep like getting more audience on YouTube, is there's so many people that just use standard peripherals, but like it's a low cost, low barrier to get into like the niche. So maybe that's like a positive outlook.
Yeah.
What's
Skate
this?
design is okay. Honeycomb on the bottom. I still think the honeycomb, as dumb as it sounds to you and me, there are people out there who associate honeycomb equals FPS gamer. This is for me.
Yeah, just like RGB to some people
Yeah.
as my voice cracks.
The
RGB.
RGB. The skates look okay. I understand there's a balancing act between bigger skates are heavier weight, smaller skates are less desirable. I wonder if cost is a thing too.
It looks like they did design this themselves though, right? Doesn't it?
Yeah, oh
Or
yeah,
like,
it definitely looks like a
yeah,
bespoke new
good stuff.
mold. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which they're remember Sony's going to, because first of all, they're an old school manufacturer, so they probably don't think about, which Chinese company can I task their team with? Because remember, that's literally how most of these companies, like Flickmice uses that Signo Vorkin shell, and they
Chilkey uses Thunder Robot or whatever Thunder Robot uses. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
And so they'll go in and they'll say, okay, I've tried 80 different mice shapes. I like this one that you make, but I need these switches. I need this sensor. I want this coating. I want a more tactile scroll wheel, please. Thank you. And the company will whip this up. Doing something ground up, I guarantee you Sony was like, they probably hired freaking like design consultants about, well, if it has buttons that have this curvature, that gives a more ergonomic vibe, whereas if you have squared off buttons, it will look sharper and the curvature will be more appealing to these markets and these I'm sure they like workshopped this to death, and then they literally gave a 3D scan, a 3D model, a set list of requirements to a manufacturer, to 80 manufacturers, see what the bid process was before they sign a contract, because they are big, probably old school thinking. Yeah, I do like that they're one of their marketing. Oh yeah, their marketing thing, IPS 750 instead of 750 IPS. The optical switch reacts on light, not friction, enabling quicker input. Just awkward marketing, A marketing department's over here, design department's over here. They're not quite talking. They have a web driver. It's $39.50. It was made in collaboration with Fnatic, and there's your skeleton structure. We don't have dimensions. This weight could be really. It's not a bad weight right off the bat. It's probably a more medium-sized mouse, right? That's what I'm seeing. Maybe. At least scroll wheel proportions. Okay, dongle pics. Show me your dongle pics. The shape is, some people were like, it looks like a Fnatic bolt. I think it looks like one because the top half looks like a bolt. I don't think it'll feel anything like a bolt. This looks too safe. The bolt had a little bit more hourglass flare, and I think this is slightly rear humped. The bolt is the bolt's Fnatic bolt side. Isn't it mid hump? Oh no, it is rear hump. My mistake. Okay.
I can see what people would think.
Oh, you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. I gotta check myself. Okay, maybe I'm wrong.
It does look pretty similar.
Yeah. I mean, Fnatic did say they helped develop it, so maybe the Fnatic players have a similar vibe, shape vibe.
I'm like down with this mouse, and I'd like to try it actually.
Yeah, except the price, $150 MSRP.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
It doesn't look $150 for what it's worth, and I don't know what it is about it. It looks like it's uncoated plastic, that's why. But maybe it does have a grip.
Linus Tech Tips, the review, the unboxing channel, whatever that's called, they reviewed it and it was fingerprinty, and he complained about fingerprints. So I'm thinking, yeah.
Oh,
that's good. Coding. Yeah, so LTT apparently actually did testing that they published a little bit early. Whoopsies. And I don't really care about LTT for mouse reviews at all, but we do have more pictures. We have box art. There's the mouse. Extra skates in the box. Good. Let's take a look. Here's the shape here. Yeah, very safe. Slightly lower sensor position. Sticker over the hole cutouts. That's cool, but you can still see the PCB. I'm down with that.
I made
Anyway,
a drop here in like 20 minutes. We'll see where
Okay.
we're at. but-
Okay. Let's go through some more news then.
Rapid
ATK
fire, go.
U2 Mini. I don't think there's a whole lot to say on this. There's the U2, which is a Zowie U2 clone, and now there's the Mini. I already
There's
have...
interest in this.
Yeah,
People are interested in this.
which is shocking to me because the Valkyrie VK M3 already exists, but Huano mechanical switches, no opticals. Oh, we get a teardown.
So there's a lot of people that are interested in how similar it is to the duckbill, and I do see what they're saying, like in overall size and like some of the profile. There is some similarity, but it's going to feel quite a bit different, specifically with how much curvature there is on. Well, I mean, the left side definitely, but even the whole mouse.
Yeah.
So,
People tend to lump releases together,
yeah.
but yep.
Someone asked me yesterday, "How's your long-term review on the U2?" To which I truthfully replied, "I legitimately returned it in the mail 1 hour after finishing my review."
Yeah.
Mine was so bad though. People seem to like the mouse in general.
Yeah, I sold mine. Maybe I sort of regret it. If it was a fancy color, I would have held on to it. But this is
Yeah.
38 grams, 39.50, Nordic 52.840. So the Mini won't have a million SKU variants. It's already sitting at like a top SKU level. I don't think, do we have any comment on pricing? I don't think so. Let's go on to, we already talked about Boardzy mentioning MouseCast. That's pretty cool. Vaxee has a new mouse, the NPO1S Ergo. So this is a slightly ergofied NPO1S, and Vaxee has an excellent video, of course, on it, where they talk about the development, they talk about the philosophy. We have the Vaxee E1 being very much
Logpile
ergonomic.
also has a great video on it already.
Oh, does he? Nice.
Yeah, check it out.
I'm sure they talk about all sorts of esports takes on it. Yep, so there's the Ergo. It does look distinctly different. What do you think of the naming, Daz?
Horrible. What is happening? I haven't even looked at the mouse because in my mind the MPO1S is sort of Ergo. So what even is this mouse? So I haven't even checked into it yet.
I haven't either. Are you guys in chat interested in this? I don't know. I call it NPO1E or NPO1 SE or something. I don't know. Having a separate word I think messes up, especially a very searched term like Ergo. Your SEO is borked.
Could just be MPO2. That would have made more sense to me.
Sure, yeah.
MPO2
Unless maybe they're saving that for future revisions like spec bumps.
could be. They might have more plans than I know. Ooh, that's lower profile. The MPO1S itself I couldn't do it because it wasn't tall enough. And in 19 minutes, I think my review of the Y2, which is the same shape as that basically, will drop. But that mouse, I couldn't get a good grip. I just did not feel good to me. That shape doesn't actually work. I thought it was meant for me, and it's just not. MPO1, MPO1S, G Hero, all that.
Pinky out. They actually all the videos he grips like I used to grip like that, but let's go on to another topic. AULA V9. This I forgot to tease to show last week. The V9. There are two new AULA mice, V9 and the V9 Plus. The V9 is a GPX Mini. The Plus is a direct GPX clone, it seems. They do have RGB, so all of you guys missing out on a lightweight GPX clone with RGB, this is it. You get a little ring around the bottom, little RGB ring right at the butt. 58 grams. Oh, let's go over to the specs. Yeah, 55 grams for the smaller Mini, 58 grams for the larger. They have different battery sizes, but 600 milliamp hour, I guess, is quite hefty. Different price tags. I saw them on AliExpress, like the V9 Pro. The Pro is pretty much what you want in either the Plus or the non-Plus, because you get the $33.95 without spending a bunch more money for a $39.50, and they still come with, I believe they still came with Omron opticals. Where is it? Yeah, Omron light fretting you get at the Pro level, so, and you get the red colorway. So for me, the Pro is the buy, and this was like $42, $44 before coupons. So, I guess it's an option. MCho's A5 is another GPX Mini. It's a little bit older. It's probably the same weight, but now you get optical switches and RGB. Yeah.
I'm navigating my exit, which will be in a couple minutes here. You'll have to solo run the rest of it, but yeah, I was browsing the dock. I have the Metallic S9 coming.
Oh, let's jump
from EWEADN.
This is cool.
The S9 Plus, yeah.
So
They
this
were actually going to send out another mouse that you and I discussed, and I was like, "Oh, what about this thing?" And that's why UEWEADN's awesome.
okay. Sure. All right. Sorry, headphone users. Yeah, so the S9 Plus, it's the same shape that we all know and love, the Viper V3. The changes are we get a silver metallic finish, and the buttons and scroll wheel are actually metal. They're not just
And
painted plastic.
they made the skates full pads too.
Yeah, most important thing. Look at that. Proper release.
Yeah, they took feedback. Hey.
Yeah. But other than that, I don't think it's anything different, right? That's it.
I think that was about it. It has
Okay.
Wano 100 millions, which is nothing special. Or Hano 100 millions? Or Omrons. I can't remember. It might be Omron. Omron Mechanicals. That's what it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Which are just like, they're mechanical switch the switch to me. I don't love them, don't hate them. They're fine.
Okay.
56 plus or minus 3 is the same that they advertised that, like, with the green one, the parrot green one at. So.
Okay.
Then the
Cool.
Ultra Plus says, okay, the Pro Plus, which is a different mouse as well, appears to have KL weight blades, which is interesting that you'd go KL weight and Omron 100M because they feel very, very similar.
They do. They really do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, they probably are trying to play off the parrot green hype, and I guess this is cool. I question.
It looks really cool,
yeah, it does look really cool. $80 MSRP.
It's a K7. It's got a direct competitor now, and that already was like, did we get in value here with versus the X1 Pro? Maybe.
Yeah.
This doesn't have Omron opticals.
Yeah, charging dock and. Okay. This was a new brand. Or at least we don't know this brand, my bad. RSR7. So RSR makes me think James Donkey because the RSR5.
Right.
But yeah, all I have on this is Hitoshi. Follow him on Twitter, guys. He does a bunch of these like early pictures and stuff. These are really good pictures. Looks super lightweight. RSR. Oh, wait, does this have a manufacturer? RSR7. And it has this. Maybe it is a James Donkey. No sensor ring on this. Bummer to see split skates when they don't need to be split. I don't know what this aesthetic is supposed to be. Like an owl? A bird? Gaming, I think it's supposed to say at the bottom here. What else we got for photos? Really semi-translucent kind of sunflower yellow. Very nice. Scroll wheel looks grippy. Shape looks boring. I don't know. Cool. This is all I have on it, and he just says carbon. I don't even know what that means. But Hitoshi, follow him, guys. Glacier LW8KL. So Chilkey, you guys know this has been released. Daz has a video review on his channel. Y'all should go check it out. It is basically a Sora clone, but you get a screen, but still at a reasonable 47, I think 48-ish gram weight. Yep.
Yeah, it looks really cool. It's just there's a few key fatal flaws, basically.
Why didn't they send you the one with the hieroglyphics?
We talked about it. It was just a logistics error. I asked for both the hieroglyphics ones, and yeah, it's crazy actually because the hieroglyphics 1000% make the thumbnail pop, but yeah, I should have just used the stock image of the hieroglyphic mouse instead of the one I did, but it's okay.
Yeah, apparently there's a translucent purple version coming too. Yeah, there's the hieroglyphics. I think that's cool. As gimmicky as it is, gimmicks kind of sell this day and age because you got to differentiate yourself since everyone's the same shape.
Oh, that's why the skate's this size there, because of the hieroglyphics.
Well,
oh,
what design decision do you make first, Daz?
Oh, no. Look, Techni has a video on the Sony stuff. It's a good mouse. They have fog blue opticals, which I believe are like a newer Raisha. They feel like older Raishas, and then the skates they're thin to the point where I don't think you can even drop dots in there, and they're extremely sensitive to texture. So on the pads I was using, they felt really bad. So, yeah. But with that, I'm going to have to dip out.
Okay.
Got in for the log segment. That was the main goal there.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, it was a really good interview, and I never like to ask live, oh, do you want to come back? Because like, what if they secretly had a terrible time?
You're right.
But I hope he's down to join back because he's very easy to talk to.
Oh yeah, 100%. All right. Cheers.
Cool. All right. See you, Daz.
Yep.
So y'all are stuck with me now. Yeah, I'll keep my camera there. That's fine. Okay. So what else we got for news this week? Glacier LW 8K. Apparently this is coming in a translucent purple colorway. There's already the LWL or LW8M that's like an HTS kind of shape. It looks kind of cheap, honestly. But this version of the mouse is also coming in a... Somebody leaked it on Reddit. It is also coming in a translucent purple. How about this bit of news? Pwnage Ultra Custom Pro Sim 3 tees. This is the only info I have on it is this tweet. Ultra Custom Pro Sim 3, the legend reinvented. Pro level performance meets elite customization. So I guess they're going to keep with their existing magnetic customization theme, which if we look at the Pwnage Sim Custom, you guys remember Pwnage, like before they went super lightweight carbon fiber, they had these modules. So like the back hump here, you could get solid or different colors. Yeah, here you are changing out colors. I think that's cool. I personally never really did this because, like, I don't know, I'll just go buy an orange mouse if I want an orange mouse. But sure, I don't know how sales were for this, so I guess they want to bring it back. But Sim 3, I'm guessing a spec bump. Maybe it's a slight revision to the shape. Hopefully a good QC. I said, yeah, I'm ready for Pwnage Redemption Arc. They have unique tech, I agree. Well, that's my own point, of course, I agree. But the, like, Trinity CF, great mouse. Crap, the quality, the switch grinding, dude. Just if you're gonna use a Viper mini shape, there's like, I don't know, the new yeah, there's better options out there. Deluxe M800 Mini, dude. I'm gonna optical swap this boy. Fantastic mouse. Love this mouse. Love this mouse. So this is all I have, but I was in Upgrade Lemon's DMs, and I'm not gonna have him commit to anything. But because he actually joined the Discord because of Daz, not because of me. That's okay. That's how it is. And I said, maybe like your appearance could line up with the release of this, and maybe you can talk about its development, design philosophy, place in the market, etc. Not as an ad. We don't do ads here on MouseCast, but as a sort of framework to some of the discussion. Also, what did you guys think of this? Did you see this? Pwnage has in their Discord community awards, Discord reward system, exclusive emote pack, accessories up to $15, Pwnage swag, $25 gift card, 20% off code with credits. I don't know how you earn credits. And I'm not logged in to read comments, but what even is this? I don't know. Don't know how you earn any of these. I don't know if this feels a little bit sellouty. I don't know if this is like a really cool thing to do. I guess it's a thing to try, so sure. Let's move on to another bit of news. The Attack Shark R11 officially listed. So this we've talked about previously. It's also known as the IPI Qi, which I actually ordered a purple one. But it looks like Attack Shark is giving us two different finishes. You can get a carbon fiber weave and a like carbon fiber swirl, kind of like a ying, WL Mouse ying. The fact that these are two different, like the price doesn't change or anything, that just means that I was thinking maybe this is just a hydro dipping process, but the fact that there's texturing, it's not like real carbon fiber, right? The fact that there's a texturing to it makes me think this might just be EDM'd into the mold. EDM machining, it's like uses like electricity or something. It's super duper precision machining, and it's how you get like your dimpled texture on really, really fine things. So yes, it is retailing for $109 MSRP. Currently, I think there's an early bird special for, I thought, oh yeah, 15% off, so that'll drop it down to like, what, 90 some and change. So I was like not all that interested in this. The shape seems to be an ROG Harpy Ace shape. I wasn't all that interested until I caved. I found one on AliExpress in the purple colorway for IPI Qi. I caved and got one, guys. I found one for like $85 before shipping, and after coupons and rackets and cashback, it's gonna be like $62-ish. So I caved. I don't think it's all that interesting of a release. It still is like 50 grams. Omron mechanical 100 million switches, 3950. I don't know what I was thinking. I kind of have buyer's remorse. Maybe I should cancel it. I don't know. Should I? I'm not going to do a review. I'm not going to ask you guys, do you want to see a review? Because I'm probably not going to review it. Next bit of news. Let's go into DAREU. Speaking of carbon fiber mice, DAREU A950 Ultra launched in mainland China. This is a real carbon fiber mouse, and you want to know how you can tell it's real carbon fiber? Because it's listed for 2,000 Chinese yuan, which equates to $279 US. Apparently, they're doing a limited early bird special for 1,300 yuan. I have found it on AliExpress for around 237, so like $200-ish after coupons. So this is very expensive. Like the ROG Harpy Ace Extreme is real carbon fiber. Real carbon fiber is very expensive. Usually it's hand laid. You'll have like a mold and you like wet the carbon fiber strips in resin and you lay them over the mold. It's a very labor intensive process. I believe there's like forging presses that can do it too, but for low production runs you probably stick with handmade. And yeah, quality control's also got to be a challenge. 500 milliamp hour battery. I believe the weight is not listed on here, which is, all right, do we have weight? I think this is sensor. Wait, no. Maybe that is big G. I think G is of Excel. So, oh, there you go. Wait, 59 plus or minus 1 gram. Oh, that's brutal. What? 59 grams for, you can get the plastic version, I think is 55 grams. The shape is nice. I do have one. It's the DAREU A950, is a decent shape. It's very safe. It's kind of a large medium shape. Yeah, I said, of course it's terrible value, but at least it's real carbon fiber and not printed on. I love this shape and absolutely will not be buying one. Yeah, sure. I feel like in chat, I feel like people's perception of carbon fiber mice are ruined by the fake carbon fiber mice. Probably, yeah. I think there's like more optimization that needs to be done to like truly have lightweight carbon fiber. Like have, I don't know, there's like a lot of engineering that goes in behind it. And I don't know, magnesium mice aren't like, will the market bear a $300 mouse? Only maybe if you're Razer with their Viper Mini Signature Edition. So maybe it just doesn't make sense. Alright, speaking of things that don't make sense, how about a super cheap GPX Dex clone? I kind of like the colorway, but the Transformers branding that's probably not officially licensed. Sure. Looks cheap. The bottom render here, the little side ribs look terrible. Like Thunder Robot, some of their early mice did this, but I guess it's an option. This is 3311. Yeah, 3311. I don't know, this was listed to Amazon. It's called the Transformers GM04. 63 grams, 12,000 DPI, 3311, 100 hour battery life with a 500 milliamp hour battery. Sure, I don't know. I guess it might suit with somebody's setup. Yeah. Let's move on to Orbital Pathfinder. Look at this, batch 2. So Don, their CEO, talks.
We were blown away with the love and passion you showed for the first batch of Pathfinder. Naturally, we wanted to make this.
This is only 2 minutes long. I think he mostly just talks. He doesn't really show. Oh, he does show some stuff. You have revised, improved clicks. Improved build quality. The clicks, they said they actually changed some bits in the mold for all clicks, not just M1 and M2. And then he shows a picture of the side button. So that's good. Still one-to-one hand QC by their founders team, which is interesting. That's an investment right there. To have like a team of enthusiasts being like QC at the factory, a special level of QC. They're launching a web driver. And new shapes to explore with thumb rests, ergo hump, and more. Pretty cool. I also think he said they improved the ratcheting mechanism for how the sides click in and out. And the brightness of the LED on the dongle was too bright, so they reduced that. Yeah, here he is showing the revised click bits. Oh, look at that. The back, look at that back button click is actually on a pivot. It's actually on a pivot, so it's not just a bendy thing. That actually might feel really nice.
Enable easier modding.
And what else we got here? Yeah, the ratcheting mechanism he said is going to be tighter. So that's pretty cool. So, and the whole framework of this was they wanted to release a batch 2, but they waited this long because they were waiting to get more and more feedback to cover more improvements in the batch 2. Big huge respect there. Don and the team seem really knowledgeable and absolutely are enthusiasts for peripherals, which is cool. And actually gamers too. I believe, oh, I forget, is he Malaysian? Vietnamese? Oh, I forget. His English is very good though. Next bit of mouse news. Oh, this was hilarious. Max Gaming, so the Pulsar X2 Crazy Light peeling off the skates here. Look at him just, gorilla ripping the skates off and then cleaning it. Is this how... oh, sorry, headphone users. Is this how you guys really rip off your mouse skates? Do you really just manhandle it? I don't know, I get questions all the time. How do you keep your skates? How do you reuse your skates? You don't take them off like a freaking ape. I don't know. What I do is I get under... Okay, this is going to show. So I'll use a super skinny flathead screwdriver to get under the skate. Usually there's these little indents where you can insert from. I actually I'll look at the perimeter of the skate and I'll try to go from a point that has a little bit of a gap. And I really dig the blade of the screwdriver in. I would rather scratch the bottom of the mouse than if sometimes the blade can get between the adhesive and the PTFE skate and you'll delaminate it and you don't want to do that. But I mean, really just go slow and take your time. Like, Jesus Christ, how many of you guys have taken off a sticker before that you like wanted to keep? It's not rocket science. You just go slow. And like, if it starts getting a little sketch, just push it back down and be like, okay, I'm not going to screw with that. So I don't know. I don't know. Don't bend the crap out of this skate. Like here, this is putting in a crease that you'll never get out. I don't know. I get this is a Max Gaming video, so they're like, screw these skates, they're putting on these things, and then what they do with this mouse, I have no idea. Maybe they just throw it in the garbage and write it off, but anyway. All right, we already talked about the A950 Ultra. We already talked about Transformers decks. Another small bit of mouse news, the Lamzu Maya Champions, so it's an update to the Maya, not the Maya X, and it looks like they're going to go 3950, includes 8K dongle. This is the OG size, and their website does say optical switches too. Releases 6 p.m. on yesterday. Okay, so it already released. It's in this nice pink and white colorway too. Some people really, really like that. So, speaking of colorways, we have the WL mouse, BeastX. What is this? I don't know, but there's 9/25 release, September 25th. Sure. Side slits. Okay. Well, anyway, I'm not too interested, but that's all I really have to say. What do people say? 43 upvotes. It's just a different colorway of the Beast. 12th time in a row. Evangeline colorway. By the way, the controller on that mouse feels so wrong. That controller on the mouse. They mean like the like Nordic controller or whatever. Broadcom. I don't know what WL mouse uses. Okay, let's go into Reddit recap. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. I still have more mouse news. Oh, okay. Let's see. Fantech motion pads. Fantech. Maybe I have to open this in my actual Twitter. Okay. 5 elemental mouse pads, each tuned for your play style. Drop your pick. Look at this. 5 of them. And I think they're all named... I think I need all 5. I think they're all named like Earth, Wind, Lightning, Sky or something, and they're different speeds. So that's kind of cool. I mean, Fantech makes pretty good stuff. So I think like their Earth was going to be their slowest and their Lightning was going to be their fastest. I thought they had... Is this all I had on it? Fantech motion mouse pad. Motion pad. Here we go. $25 MSRP. Very nice. So they have Earth, Water, Fire, Wind, Lightning in terms of speed. So Earth is the slowest. Lightning is the fastest. $25 MSRP. Earth is engineered for control. High DPI users. Has highest stopping power. Water is... Okay, these are all kind of like nothing burgers. Optimized for speed and control, for high-speed gameplay, for lightning. It's the fastest option. Okay, do we actually have like close-ups of the... These are really low res images. Anti-slip base, herringbone rubber. So it looks like it's just a normal PU rubber base, but they went with blue, so sure. I mean, they got to keep price down, so I'm okay with that. Comfort and durability. We don't have good, like, surface pictures, though, do we? I don't think so. That's too bad. Give us, like, good close-ups, guys. Like, what a great landing page, but, like, I don't really care about... Like, if you're gonna do this photo, look at how pixelated this is. Okay, well, next bit of news. Xraypad released some new mouse skates called the U9 skates, the most durable skates for glass pads, I guess. Look at the little testing setup they have here. Isn't that cool? One of the guys I was talking to uses Jade skates on a glass pad. He's like, it's basically I need a subscription service because I'm replacing them so frequently. So I wonder how much force they're putting down here too. They have a little weight on top of this too. That's interesting. I'm surprised it's not like a more randomized pattern, so you're not wearing away also like the coating on the glass pad, although maybe that's not how that works, so I don't know. Let's move on to keyboards. We already talked about this previously, but Pulsar ES-HE70 is officially released. It's actually a very good looking keyboard. So 70% with a big old volume knob, so you know Phalanges is a fan. Look at that, F-row only goes up to F10, unusable. I think we guessed what price it was going to release it. I think we both guessed like 200-ish. I thought 250 would be in the realm of possibility. Dimensions, there you guys go with the dimensions. Almost 1 kilogram, so pretty decent weight. Not the heaviest out there. Like I want to say some of them are like some CNC machined boards are like upwards of 1.7, even 2 kilograms, like the Mechlands M75 that Daz loves. Is that way? This is using Raisha magnetic switches, so it's not compatible with the existing like Gateron Hall effect, which is really a bummer. CNC aluminum body, PBT keycaps, quick tap, rapid snap, SOCD, has all those things. Double misspelled absorption structure, so it might actually sound good to type on. 8K polling rate, 8K scan rate, okay. 79 key layout. Is it wired? I think it's wired. They're showing it with a wire in all of these, but the wire looks detachable. Do they say if it's wireless? I don't think so. The switch is initial force of 28 grams. Wow, plus or minus 10. Quite a tolerance on a very light switch. USB 2.0 plug and play. Okay. Maybe Flange, show us some damn pictures instead of just... I don't know, a lot of you guys I think just listen to this while you're aim training, so I think the audio is like more important. But yeah, Pulsar, we got 2 customizable buttons here too, and a knob, which is very cool. PC software, aluminum case, looks nice. It's a good looking board. They went with a clean typeface. They went with a pretty typical 75% layout. They did smush the modifiers here. It looks like they're 1U spaces, which is not the end of the world. And dual silicone structure, RGB LEDs. Sure, that's pretty cool. Speaking of keyboard stuff, you guys see this at GamesCom? This is funny. Wooding has a Rick Roll video playing on a wall of keyboards. That's pretty funny. That's cool. What a fun little project to have at your game show to show off. Another keyboard release is the IPI Rain 75. I don't try to cover like every keyboard release ever because I don't think we care enough, but I will cover the ones that look kind of cool or are from relevant brands like Pulsar. But the Rain 65 was already a pretty good keyboard, but I guess now this is an update to it with like a full CNC machine frame and like this waffle pattern to it. What do you guys think of this in chat? Does this look good? Does it look bad? Underglow LED lighting looks real clean. 6,000 milliamp hour battery, wireless. Do they have a weight on here? It looks hefty, especially with a big old beefy battery like that. That's cool. Yeah, that CNC machined pattern around the outside looks kind of cool. It's unique, I guess. It's a standout feature piece. Wish no adjustability in the risers and kind of small foot pads. Okay. Move on to more GamesCon stuff. This is the wrong link, isn't it? Yeah, this is the wrong link. Okay, well, Asus teased a 720 Hz OLED monitor at GamesCon this year. We're gonna look at Display Guy's video on it, I guess. 720 Hz, dude. That's insane. I'm at a 480 hertz, and I mean, I would love to see 720 hertz in person if this ever loads. But good luck getting that kind of frame rate. They're showing it off with Apex Legends. Yeah. Glossy is nice, though. Glossy is very nice if you're in a room. I have a window next to me, so it's not the best. But glossy does legitimately look really, really good. Just things pop and things are more crisp. You don't have that screen door effect. So, what else we got from? Well, let's see. We did the Wooting Rickroll. Oh yeah, here's a funny bit of the Vertigo Flood. Go Flood. Twitter. I saw this thing on Twitter that was oh yeah. This was funny. I don't know if this is a limited CS2 thing, but they like made a joke about Vertigo. A flood has reached Vertigo, which is a skyscraper map, so that's funny. But it's just their way of like, I don't know if it's a limited time alteration to a very popular map. But it's just funny on the water levels all the way up the skyscraper. I thought that was funny. AliExpress is having a back to school sale right now, so Rakuten, what does cashback monitor say Rakuten is right now? I need to, sorry if that audio is playing in the background. Here we go. So Rakuten is AliExpress 20%. Rakuten's 15% today, and top cashback is 20%. Daz and I do have creator codes where you get a $30 with your new sign-up purchase, with a purchase of $30, and then we also get a kickback of $30. So you can probably search Rakuten on my channel or on Daz's channel. Use whoever's link. I really don't care. Any money I make from like YouTube or Rakuten, I literally just put back into getting more mice to talk about. So I bought a second, I don't know why I got this, guys, but I did. I got a second DAREU A950. I think wing. I'm hoping it's going to be better QC. I got it for $20 after cashback, $27 out the door. So that's really attractive for a 3950 mouse. I'm hoping it's going to be somehow better build quality than the existing one I have. Hey Viku, thanks for tuning in live. Yep. Rapu VT3S. I actually had to buy a second one because my first one has not shipped, but this seller says he will ship it once it comes in stock. And I said, please don't cancel the order. I will wait. $27. Newer Rapu releases are good. They got good coatings. I got a VT1 Gen 2 here. Very nice coating, kind of like an Incot coating. Lightweight clicks. Skates are nice, rather small, but it's a very safe shape. Very safe. It looks like it has some side tapering, but it really feels quite flat. I don't know. It's kind of a stubbier mouse, though, which is kind of fun. So, this is a very nice, vibrant orange with good clicks, good build quality. Oh, and it has like a big-ass 800 milliamp hour battery that once you swap it, it gets down to, I think I did a Reddit post. I think I got it down to Rapu VT1 Gen 2 disassembly. If you ever want to see my reviews, just search a mouse and then put disassembly. And it's usually the first Reddit result. These have an amazingly teeny tiny little PCB that only weighs like 5 grams, and this is with the new Nordic 54 series MCU that gets amazing battery life. So there I am with my 150 milliamp hour battery. The stock one is this huge honking 800 milliamp hour that's nearly 12 grams, and I got it down to 46 grams. It feels very nice. It's a good mouse. Not my favorite shape, but I was using it at work. Yeah, Rapu stuff. Point is, good releases on their recent stuff. This was a big one though, guys. I got an ATK duck bill for $77 shipped after taxes, but after Rakuten 25%, it's going to be under $60. That's awesome. It's a really good price, to the point where the Ultra, they are coming out with other versions. The Ultra is the only one out right now. You always lead with your flagship for best sales and profitability and stuff, but that seems like a really good price. And then I also got a DAREU AE6. This is not an amazing price. This is a version though without the dock. Unfortunately, the AE6 DAREU AE6 has two versions, one with and one without a dock. It's kind of like a DAREU meets a GPX. It's like it's larger than the A950, which I already rather like that shape. But there's two versions, with and without a dock. And the dock version, first problem, your rear skate becomes split. Second problem, the dock is the dongle. Wait, do I have disassembly? The dock is the dongle, and the dock is huge. absolutely huge. It's bigger than the mouse, dude. It's heavy. It has this thick rubber cable that looks really cheap. Yeah, there's the split skates. How disappointing. So, also, apparently this version comes with Omron 100 million mechanicals. And the version that I got here, I messaged the seller, this is the version without the dock. So that means I should get Omron opticals and no split skate. I should have one large foot pad skate at the bottom here. The DAREU AE6, this is a very good mouse. A really nice coating, really nice button click quality, really nice internal structure. They have something that they call KBS buttons or something. It's their click system that, do I have a better picture of it here? Not really. So see this orange bit with a pin? The entire button is on like a double, it's like a dual pin fulcrum. So it's like your button, it's attached to like a dog bone, and each lobe of the dog bone is a pin, so that when you press down, it's not just tilting. Okay, it's not just pivoting. The whole arm actually translates down. So it's wild. When you click on the mouse, I should have taken a video while I had it. When you click on a mouse, like you can tell that you're like pivoting it. This system, the button would go ka-chunk, ka-chunk. It would go straight down. So that means if you click way, way, way up here, the click feel way up here versus way down here felt very similar. So it's an impressive little system. I do appreciate little innovations like that. I don't think it adds a ton of weight. It probably only adds a gram or two. And click feel matters a lot to me. So this was an interesting mouse. I do wish they maybe had a cleaner PCB. I wish that it was a little bit lighter. I think this comes in at 61 grams with a 500 milliamp hour battery. But I remember boxing it up because I sold it. I remember boxing this back up and being like, when I can get the full version with the big skate and Omron opticals for $50, I'm gonna pull the trigger. So I did. So, yeah, Rakuten, cashback and AliExpress sale goes on, I think, till the end of the month, like August 28th or August 31st, back to school sale. Yep, make sure you guys use coins and stuff. I'm basically out of coins. I do my daily check-ins. You guys want to see? I got my AliExpress page up because during the show I got my 200, it's not going to show up, 241 day check-in, 75 cents in coins a day. How about, this is going to be a discussion question for Daz. CS2 is now playable on low-end PCs, but the discussion question here is, how do you feel about, like, not cosmetic, visibility in, if this ever loads, oh, what's up with my internet? Simple visuals versus like more complex visuals. So like here we go. Like look at the super basic. They basically got rid of like the textures on all the boxes and it just looks plain. So it's almost like aim trainery. I really like this. Yeah, they just like deleted all the textures. I really like this. I wish Battlefield was this way, but then I also understand that that's not Battlefield. I play Battlefield at all low settings so that I can actually see, like, enemies in bushes and stuff. I don't know, what do you guys think in chat? Does this take too much soul away from the game? Or would you, if you could just enable this feature in a game, would you? Like, if there's a quality slider and there's just one that's just, like, aim trainer quality, would you enable that? I think I would. I think it depends on the game too. Like, I think like something like a Helldivers 2, where it's kind of like a survival, oh my gosh, aliens everywhere game. I think you want that ambiance of a spooky, things popping up at you. I think that adds to the enjoyment. But something like a Counter-Strike or Valorant, yeah, it makes it look more like Overwatch, yeah, cartoony. Vex in chat says it's a competitive game, so no point in good looks for most people. Yeah, I agree. Especially with these 720 hertz OLEDs coming out, dude. If this gets me 50 more FPS, instantly turning that on. How about this next bit of news? Battlefield 6 beta sentiments. Oh, this is one I should have talked about with Daz. But a lot of people, Battlefield 6 beta ended last weekend. Let me bring up, I shared some thoughts in Discord. So if I go to my Discord gaming chat and I go to, yeah, people were posting their like stats and stuff. This was Daz Trzak's. Yeah, feel free to join our Discord, link in the description, share your thoughts. I had some thoughts. I did not get a ton of playtime. I think I only played like 16 games according to my match summary. So here I am saying I only got about 3 hours of play time. Daz played a little bit more than me, which he warmed up to the game despite a rocky start. My initial impressions, the camera shake was really annoying. I actually had eye strain from the first couple games until I got used to it, where like I would die and I would take off my glasses and rub my eyes. The eye strain from the camera shake really bothered me. Then I went back to 2042 and I was like, oh yeah, when you just walk, it's smooth. But in Battlefield 6, when you walk, it's lopey. And so when you're doing that plus aiming, I think it was like giving me some motion sickness. It's honestly, it got better, but that might be reason enough for me to like not totally switch to it, and then I might go to like the finals or something. The maps are good. We played a lot of the smaller like squad deathmatch, domination, King of the Hill playlist. That was a lot of fun. It's very difficult to see people. Every Battlefield game has an adjustment period, but in particular, the field of view felt a little bit weird. I played around the field of view slider and it still felt like it was tough to see people at range. The gunplay is good. Engagement distances are nice and short. It's kind of like Battlefield 5 in that regard. The movement felt okay. It didn't feel OP. It felt like it could use a buff, if anything, but I understand that's a very unpopular sentiment in the Battlefield subreddit. They recently did a nerf to movement that is supposed to make consecutive jumps nerfed, where you like lose momentum and you jump shorter and shorter. Battlefield 5 already had this. I don't think that's a big deal. Apparently sliding will also have a slight, not cooldown, but like a slight hesitation at the end of the slide. I think that's unnecessary. The slide in this game already, it doesn't give you a speed boost. You can't really abuse it. So the slide, you already don't use it as an aggressive maneuver, really. You use it more as defensive. Like sliding so that when you slide to cover, you're already pre-crouched. Battlefield 2042, you actually could use the slide as an aggressive movement because you could string together 1 to 2 jumps so that you just get a half a second of you're able to ADS and shoot while still moving at sprint velocity. I don't think 2042 is particularly strong. I think 2042 might be too strong for most subredditors, but personally biased, I would prefer something more on the level of 2042 style, especially since 6 already has the slowest sprint speed, but I understand that's not the popular take, and I'm okay with it being a little bit of a slower game, especially as long as gunplay is like closer. 2042, I remember like scatter grenades and all the specialist items in that game. You needed a faster movement to be able to escape those things. Battlefield 6, I felt like it seems pretty okay so far. The footsteps are greatly improved over 2042, which are brutal. I miss grenade. Yeah, you can't throw back grenades that I could tell in Battlefield 6. I wish that came back. And the smoke grenades, I hope they get a buff. They throw really fast, which is kind of cool, but they don't go far and they're not very big. Also, you can't like replenish them easily. Enders, he's a big YouTuber in the Battlefield space and like actually one of the more talented, not normie players. He called it 7 out of 10, and I would agree. I don't think it's earth-shattering. I'm not glazing it. I think it's fine. Honestly, the camera shake is really disappointing from my perspective, but I'm trying to rate it. Other people aren't complaining about that, so I'm trying to be unbiased in it. I definitely won't be pre-ordering it. It didn't wow me. I think as 2042 kind of dies out, which it's not. Guys, it's $3 on Steam right now. If you want to try a Battlefield game, if you want something faster paced, try 2042, try the infantry only playlist. I was playing with Striped Steezy, shout out from our Discord. He was like, bro, this infantry only playlist, you freaking unlock something. He's like, Call of Duty's fun, but skill-based matchmaking kills it, and a lot of the engagement distances and time to kill, it's just too fast and too like Adderall fueled shipment, craziness. And he's like, this infantry only playlist, there still are like conquest objectives to go capture, but you're not dealing with dumb like vehicle deaths, getting blown out of the sky by a helicopter or something. And the gunplay is, I think, rather fun. There's definitely a meta, but engagement distances are definitely longer than like a Battlefield 5, but you can move more fluidly. I was even talking with Oak yesterday, and he was like, yeah, he's like, unpopular opinion, I think this is my favorite Battlefield. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know, it's a bad release which left a bad taste on a lot of people's mouths, but yeah. Yes, I need to play the finals without it crashing. So I think that is my take on Battlefield 6. I did not record any gameplay. Sorry, guys. So let's move on to how are we doing on the pod? 2 hours, 9 minutes? All right, let's finish up with a Reddit recap. If people are still in chat, I'll maybe do some personal ramblings because I got nowhere to be. 8:23 a.m. I got some friends coming over today. Going to be a lot of fun. Here was an op-ed I tried to do to Mouse Review, and it's got a 40 upvotes. Okay, initially it didn't get any traction. Anyway, we've come a long way. Hear me out. I saw this picture in Chilkey's marketing material showing one G502 wireless being roughly the same weight as 3 Chilkey Glaciers. First of all, they can't math because 47 times 3 is actually like 141. So this is more like 2.5x mice. But the point is, look at this comparison, guys. A mouse that is still very popular and regarded as one of the all-time favorite mice is like 3x the weight of a mouse that we use nowadays. And I used the Mcho's L7 Plus, dude. You battery swap this with 150 milliamp hour battery? It's 40 grams on the nose. So yeah, this is like a third of the weight of a G502 wireless. And I got this for... I should just read my take. My battery swapped Mcho's L7 Plus weighs only 40 grams with excellent skates, good build quality, and a really nice coating, and clicks. I'm on opticals that I literally rate 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 implementation. And I got it for about 40 bucks shipped. $42 shipped before rackets and 10%. Guys, we're in a really good space with enthusiast mice right now. Yeah, the Basilisk and G502 will still outsell our, what I would call an S tier pick. But we're getting new mice like every week. Yeah, maybe they're iterative in shape. But like the Orbital Pathfinder gives a unique experience. And there's a bunch of things like G-Wolves has stuff that gives unique experiences too. So I said, are we in a golden era? Will there be consolidation in the industry and industry shrinkage on the horizon? So yeah, what do you guys think? Like, first of all, are we in a golden era? Maybe, because I fear there might be consolidation coming where there are Chinese clone companies that are coming out with another Sora shape. At what point is every single mouse a Sora shape? And now the people who want something that's kind of small with a big fat rear hump, they're just overwhelmed by too many decisions, and they don't... Now Mcho's is barely selling any units because everyone else is buying... All their purchases are scattered across all the other clones. I think there's a certain level of... Remember I said honing versus being an innovator? This is an example of honing. So maybe these guys are trying to figure out who can hone into the very best iteration. So, but we're in that discovery period, right? We're in that honing period. So we're getting tons of releases. So I think we're in a golden era. I fear that there will be some consolidation coming up. There will be companies who simply say, I ain't making another Sora. No way in heck that's happening. You know, Mcho's is more just like, look at Logitech and Razer. That's exactly how they work. In order for a mouse to be the best that it can be, they have to throw all this R&D behind it, where now they're only releasing a mouse. How often does Razer release a mouse? Once a year? Once every 2 years? And when they do, it's iterative, right? The Death Adder V4, V3, right? The Razer Viper V3, we expect a V4 probably. Are they really going to tweak it? I don't know. So I think we are in a bit of a mice evolving into Sora shape. It's kind of like evolution of species into crabs. Yes, let's just call it a crab shape. Hashtag crab mice. Cut Actual says, I actually think we peaked a while ago. Flawless sensors, competitive wireless implementation, low weight. There will be lots of further improvements like higher DPI, polling rate, lower latency, but it won't be worth a side grade from current top tier mice. Totally agree. 8K is already like for the battery life. Pizzo Gull on his interview said battery life is going to be a big one. We see that with the Nordic 54 series. Yeah. The L7 Plus, by the way, this is a different shape from the normal Mcho's L7, which is actually smaller with flatter sides. So just keep that in mind. These are actually different shapes. The L7 Plus is not just a spec change. It is actually a different shape. Sora, X2 Crazy Light or X2 Mini. Both very good. Both very, very good. Okay. Move on to, this was funny, posted by Daz. He messaged this to me, and I was like, bro, you gotta post this to Mouse Review. Attack Shark X8 ULTAR. Who needs Ultra when you have ULTAR? The typo, dude, is so funny. People were memeing on that, too. There was another Attack Shark, the R11 Ultra release, and people were like, it's not X11 ULTAR, or R11. Oh, he said AMA on build, etc. So I said, oh, this is where I asked favorite pizza topping. Oops. Is this the same coating as the R6? Because the R6 is legitimately not an Attack Shark feeling Attack Shark. The R6 is, this is the Sora clone. Attack Shark R6. It's a smaller Sora, though. It's rather narrow. I didn't realize how small the R6 is. It is a small mouse. If you are a small-handed user, you might like this, or a fingertipper. It's rather narrow. It actually feels very nice. Armor optical implementation's okay. Skates are okay. Build quality's okay. But it's a decent price and it's a nice shape. Oh, coating though is actually like pretty good. It's not just a boring Attack Shark coating. It's actually like a Pulsar black kind of coating. It's pretty good. He says, check the coating later. Maybe if we play Battlefield. Armor opticals are fine, not terrible. They work and are better than mechanical implementations that he's tested. Yep. So Daz is working on a review. He has like all 4 SKUs, different versions of this. So they did it with the hard R, the ULTAR. That's funny. All right. I think I mentioned this earlier, but FlickMice responded to me, so I can say their response. So I did a disassembly plus mini review of the, I have a Flickfire. Yeah, I managed to snag one for $50 shipped on eBay. Pretty incredible. They have this goofy little plastic piece at the front. I was surprised, guys. It is better built than I thought. Yes, it's heavy. Yes, it's a shape that's already out there, but they actually did make some revisions to it. It's a very solid feeling mouse. The clicks are very good in it. Uses a TTC dustproof encoder that I haven't seen before. That's nice and notchy. Middle mouse is spammable. Rather thick plastic. Has this dual LED thing, so one is polling rate, one is DPI. There, see the different colors in the different colors there. Yeah, base is rather hefty at almost 13 grams. Does have solder points for opticals. I didn't test it though. But anyway, this is my mini review. The cons are that the skates are terrible. The M1 and M2 have wobble, but no grinding. And the textured finish is like really slippery for me. But surprisingly spammable buttons, better build quality than I thought. Sensor performance feels fine. Very tactile encoder, and middle mouse is very spammable. Oh, that's something. The 039, the Incot here, one of the most spammable middle mouse buttons I've ever tried. The side buttons were rather light, but he said that's a feature, not a flaw. 60 gram weight is about 2 grams too heavy for me. So he actually gave a really nice reply here. He says, I'm currently working in China with our manufacturer on our second batch, which will be ready in a few days. We made big improvements from our first batch. This is crazy that like there's so many batch improvements now. We have an entirely new injection mold that has much tighter tolerances for the entire shell. That's impressive. That's a lot of money right there. That's big investment. So I'm really glad to see the $130 price tag is being reinvested. He said M1 and M2 now have a new mold that fixes the button wobble and an improved implementation with even less pre-travel. That's really nice. And the side button new design that minimizes pre-travel. They're still very light because that's what our target market loves. And we have gone to a new skate supplier, the most expensive one in China, that has developed skates with a new rounded edge, which feel great. That's cool. So what a good, I'm so glad he responded, dude. So I started DMing him. You guys can check out, this is just search Flickfire disassembly. The naming's kind of disappointing. Like Flick is just the brand name, but then Fire's the product name. It's a little, I don't know, FlickMice. I guess you just gotta call it FlickMice as the brand. I asked about the price. What drove the price so much? Was it influencer marketing? Because we know the Signo Vorkin retails for $45 equivalent. No cynicism here. I'm genuinely curious. And he talked about just how expensive it is. He talked about the ridiculous US tariffs here because they're a US based company. And he's like, right now, some of the big companies are eating those tariffs, but Chinese companies aren't. If their product gets flagged, it just gets sent back to them, whereas US companies will get hit with a 7-figure fine, is what he told me in DMs. 7-figure being, you know, $1 million plus. So, all right then, FYI, this is the max I would pay, and that's 100% true. So I got this for $50, and I've relisted on eBay for like $80, and nobody's bit on that price yet. So the used market is a good indicator of what people are willing to spend. But again, maybe Flickmice doesn't care. Maybe their influencer marketing's hard, and this subreddit does not care. Again, only 4 upvotes on this, and it's really the GPX and Fortnite players that are buying these. He did say in the DMs to me, you know, remember that we're a very niche. That's not who's actually buying the mice, it seems. He also said that I won't tease anything too big because this is confidential, but they are absolutely working on the Fire is not the only product we're going to see from them. So they're definitely reinvesting in the brand and in the company, and it's not just a influencer marketing rug pull. So that's good to see. The 039 is not similar to the Maya, says Fisher in chat. No, it is similar to a larger Viper V2, maybe a little bit taller, a little bit larger, somewhat similar to the ROM MH01. Very nice mouse. Skates are kind of thin. Uses their new super light Incot Huano collab switches that are really pretty. These are cool. I'm going to be soldering these into a Zero mouse for a guy. Very pretty. There's a heavy and a light version. All of the mice, the 039, 029, and G23V2 are all using the light version with this white text. I have not tried the heavier version. Anything we want to doom scroll? Let's see, how are we doing on viewership? Still 14 people watching. Sure, we'll doom scroll a little bit. A few people in chat. This is a long episode, but sure. Gotta love Japan. This is top for this week. Yeah, dude, mouse testing. This is a Pulsar setup. All right, rapid fire. What are they? X2H Crazy Light, X2H Crazy Light, X2H, X2H ES. Hard to tell if there's enough side curvature. It might just be an X2 ES. This is the Zywu mouse, the X-Lite Crazy Light. Did they make the... Oh, I don't know if they made the PRX in a non-Crazy Light. We have the Feynman. We have X2H, it looks like. Oh, wait, this might be an X2 ES, and this is the X2H ES, number 5 here. Number 4 is X-Lite, another X-Lite, and then 2 X2s. Maybe different sizes. Very nice. Yeah, dude, this would be cool. What the top comment's gonna be probably like, I wish I had this. I'd only need about 5 minutes in the store to know what's good for my taste, but I want an hour. LOL. Yeah, it's funny. Having so many mice on the wall behind me, I can just look at a mouse and know if I'm gonna love it or hate it already. But that still doesn't stop me from buying stuff like the stupid IPI Qi, just to be able to test stuff out. Testing stuff out is just fun. It's just fun. I already know, like, X2H, things with waist tapering, slight rear hump, and curvature to the sides is what I like. So, and kind of small, medium I aim well with, but kind of medium are more comfortable for me. So, like, I already know my endgame is pretty much WL Strider. If they could just do one with solid sides, that's pretty much endgame for me. Every time I pick up this mouse, I'm like, damn, that's good. I need to get some nice aftermarket skates for this one. But then things like the Sora are a little bit I really do like the XM2 and Strider shape the most. Scored a pretty nice deal at Micro Center. Yeah, look at that. So Micro Center, this is their open box sticker. Each time an item gets returned, it decreases in price every single time. And yeah, so this has been returned a lot. You can see they don't even have the box anymore. Probably no other accessories. But, people probably just buy it, try it out, and don't like it, so they return it. INZONE mouse we talked about. This was cool. Look at this brilliant resin print. That translucent plastic looks great, huh? Little twerking koala on top of an OP1 8KV2 impressions. Ooh, let's rate this guy's setup. Okay, so he has wall hanging thing for mice. Bro, you're already out of space, so I hope you don't buy any more. Oh, he has 3 shelves. Okay, the shelves are cool. I might have maybe done all in a row. Maybe I'm too sterile like that, and this is more abstract and fun. We have a a Wise Owl Cloud. Ooh, I don't know what these are. Is this a Finalina S450 with the button and the gray scroll? Keychron M2, it looks like. Zowie U2. BeastX Zebra Edition. Looks like the medium in size. Don't know what this is. Something with a bit of angle to the in orange and a black scroll wheel. My initial thought was like Maya or Maya X, but this seems like it has a lot of taper to it to be one of those. MM712. Looks like a weight modded G502. He removed the button, or maybe like an M-Chose G3. Pulsar X2. Rather flat sides. You can tell by the squared off buttons and the slight logo here. Orochi V2. Darmo Shark M5. HTR. Not an E1 outset. And Keychron M4. Very nice. He has quite a arrangement here. A little flower, another Pulsar mouse, Doodle, Maya, IPI Float, G303, Shroud, OP. No, XM2. You can tell by how far and small the scroll wheel is. MZ1. This is a mouse people don't really talk about anymore, huh? Maybe it's because it's heavy. Dude, Xraypad, they were putting in like 12 gram 500 milliamp hour batteries into all their mice. You drill holes in your mice and then you put a huge honking battery in it. I don't know. Helios, Fantech Helios, and a MM720. Flower's a cute touch, yeah. Maya Doodle looks nice. That's cool. Anyway, good setup. Homie is lacking anything Final Mouse, anything Razer. Shocking. Yeah. No Razer Viper V3. I feel like that's such a staple. Fenrir, the ULTAR, my post. Yeah, Terra. Oh, this was clean, dude. Bruce Lee fingertip model. Look at this. He 3D printed it. He put in some like side supports with screws, which I think adds a cool aesthetic. And he kept the side buttons. Nicely done. He could reduce a couple of grams going to a smaller battery. But he actually used he has a Pulsar pad, the Bruce Lee pad. Dude, this is clean. Even this is clean. This is like a graphic designer quality. Like, look at the slots. All kind of the same proportions. Very clean. And it's the actual Bruce Lee mouse, which these sell on eBay for like 80, 90 bucks. So, very nice, dude. Very clean. 38 grams. He'll drop it down to 35 with a battery swap, I think he said he was working on. These default Pulsar batteries are like 6.8 grams, so you're not a huge weight savings. Themes are cool. Well done. That's what I said. I knew that was going to be top. Sometimes you just say, like, Reddit has such short attention spans. If you can just be the first to comment a good take that's succinct, people will upvote it. Yeah, this is clean, though, dude. I love seeing this stuff on r/mouse review. This is very cool. Oh, yeah, a Zaukonig scam. Basically, this guy waited, like, 9 months to get his mouse, and he's asking for... And they said, yeah, sorry about that. We'll just ship you one of the new batches. And he's like, no, I want a refund. You guys can go read it. Look at this this carbon fiber enjoyer, huh? Dude, the Yings look so good. They apparently had a new batch that just came out a little bit ago, but it sold out, like, instantly. Hey, Rachel, the flower is a cute touch. Hey, Rachel. I did not see that message earlier. Duckbill arrived today. Very nice. I've got mine on the way. I'm very excited that it actually shipped. Look at that nice waist curvature, big old skates. Very nice. Very, very nice. CNC machined Cairo skates. So we didn't talk about this. I don't really know what my take is. I don't really understand it, to be honest. It seems expensive. It looks cool, I guess. I think this is one of those throw things at the wall and see what sticks. I think if this is supposed to give if big skates are so big versus small skates, it comes down to like same material, right? It comes down to friction is only a function of coefficient of friction, which is material, the two materials, how they interact. It's only a function of coefficient of friction and normal force. Normal force is how much you press down on it. So for like a glass pad, this versus a solid skate will be exactly the same speed in a controlled environment with a hard pad like a glass pad. Where skate geometry matters is in soft pads, because that's when you start pressing down into the pad. And now if you have something like 4 dots versus big skates, so those 4 dots, you're applying smaller the same force over a smaller area, right? Pressure is pounds per square inch. So if you're by reducing pounds per square inch in the denominator. If you reduce surface area, square inch, you go to little dots, you're increasing pressure, right? So that pressure is going to mean that those dots sink into the pad, and you're going to have dragging. It's put your whole palm down on your pad and push in and move it, versus put just your fingertip down and push it and move it. So this is like going to be a balanced approach between somewhere between dots and between full foot pads. My take, just put more dots on a mouse if you're interested in a unique experience, but at least this gets people talking about it. I really think, look at this, got 79 upvotes. They're going to be expensive too. CNC machine does not make sense. That means these are like drilled out. I think they'll just get the tooling and they'll just die cut these. They'll stamp them all. Die cut is like a hole punch. You guys ever use a hole puncher before? And then you got to empty it out and all the paper little nuggets come out. And you'll see those little paper nuggets that come out. They'll usually have slight rounding to them because the hole punching tool, it's actually like, it's like a cone shaped. It's not just a flat circle. It's actually like cone shaped and hollow so that you have an edge to it when it cuts out. Yeah, anyway. Let's see here. Let's move on to, is there anything else on this? Anything else in Reddit recap? I don't know. Are we? I think we're done. I think I should probably end the podcast here. I think we got enough personal ramblings in. So thank you all for watching. We do this every week, so please tune back in, subscribe, ring the bell for the live notification. You know, sometimes we do it at like slightly different times like today when we're accommodating guests. Join the Discord. Really good discussion there. Safe space to air your wacky and wild takes. We'll be back probably next Friday for a regularly time scheduled podcast. 10 to X upcoming maybe next month, and a few other people in the work. So thank you all for watching.